tower if you can mix that in somewhere.
Yep, I will.
And Oklahoma City Sports Radio gets serious with the dominant duo, Jim Trader and Al Eschbach. It's Total Dominance on 98.1 FM, WWLS, the Sports Animal.
And we're back here at Othello's on this hot Monday. It is a big, big day. The man sitting next to me 50 years ago today had no idea what he was doing. He started a radio show, and look what has happened. He is the man who has done it all for all of us, and this show is known as the Dominant
Duo.
Mr. Al Eschbach. How are you, sir?
I am wonderful. You know, the crazy thing about the 50 years, one of probably the craziest ever that about they don't know. I started when I was 10 years old. Who starts doing it when they're 10 years old?
Yeah, 10
right?
years. We know that's not true because we had a party here for you last year. So come on. Anyway, man, good to have you home. And we got something special. Come on in here. This is so cool. This is the mayor of Norman, Stephen Tyler Holman. Now, you're not named after the Stephen Tyler, are you? Tell me that's true.
Yeah, my dad's favorite singer.
Is it really? Oh, that's so cool.
But my name is spelled differently. It's spelled with a PH.
Right.
Because my dad is also named Stephen, spelled with a V. So he goes by Steve. He calls in all the time. So.
Okay, good. Now, you've been listening to Sports Animal since you were little?
Yeah.
He went to school with my son, Alex.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Norman High the same year.
Okay. Now, move in a little bit, Steve, so we can get mixed. So you got something. I'm going to give the mic to you, Stephen. You take over.
Okay. So one of the few things I actually have the power to do as mayor is do official recognitions and proclamations for businesses or people that have done something significant in the city of Norman. And so we wrote up a resolution in recognition of Al Eschbach and his lasting impact for Norman. So I thought I'd come on the air and read it out loud for everybody and present it to him here in person. So with that, a resolution of the mayor of the city of Norman, Oklahoma, recognizing Al Eschbach for 50 years in sports radio in his lasting impact on the community. Whereas Al Eschbach has dedicated 50 years to sports talk radio, becoming one of the most recognizable and respected voices in Oklahoma sports media. And whereas throughout his distinguished career, Al has provided insight, analysis, and commentary that has informed, entertained, and connected generations of listeners across the state and beyond. And whereas for decades, Al has been a cornerstone of sports radio through his work with WWLS, the Sports Animal, including his role alongside Jim Traber, Barry Trammell, and Dean Blevins on the Dominant Duo and
Total Dominance.
Total Dominance Hours.
That's all right.
Weekday afternoons, followed by Inside Sports with Al Eschbach, further solidifying his place as a daily fixture in the lives of Oklahoma sports fans. And whereas known for his distinctive voice, passion, and deep knowledge of music and athletics, Al has built a legacy as a pioneer in sports talk radio, helping shape the way fans engage with sports not only in Oklahoma, but across the country. And whereas Al's national impact and notoriety have brought recognition to Oklahoma's sports scene, and his work has earned him numerous honors and awards, reflecting his excellence and influence in the field of broadcasting. And whereas Al's journey began in New Jersey, and he later made his way to Norman to attend the University of Oklahoma, where he built the foundation for both his career and his lifelong connection to this community. And over the decades, Al has become not just a voice on the radio, but a familiar and trusted presence in the daily lives of countless Oklahomans. And whereas, like many in our community, I've been listening to Al since I was a kid, and his voice has been a constant in the background of so many moments tied to Oklahoma sports. And whereas we are fortunate to have someone of Al's caliber called Norman home and to have benefited from his contributions to sports media and the broader community for so many years. Now, therefore, I, Mayor of the City of Norman, Oklahoma, do hereby recognize and celebrate Al Eschbach for 50 years in sports radio and thank him for his enduring impact on the state of Oklahoma, the nation, and the city of Norman. Passed and approved this 10th day of August, 2026.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's awesome, Al.
Thank you so much. I got one question.
Yeah.
Can I have a street named after me?
Well, we do have a process for that.
We need to do it, man. You need to figure out a spot somewhere.
I can definitely figure
I'm
it
just
Sure- hey,
kidding.
no, make sure it's like an alley with a gutter people are drinking on, because that'd be perfect for
You can
him.
name an alleyway on
where
campus.
where the
corner.
homeless people live.
Okay.
Hey, now, Mayor, tell us about this really cool thing you're doing with the water tower with Dr. Pepper and Game Day and all that, whatever it is. Tell
Yes.
us.
So the water tower is, we think, is the oldest water tower standing in Norman, almost 100 years old. It was decommissioned 15 years ago or so, and was actually going to be torn down. The cost to do that was nearly $500,000. So I didn't really love the idea of spending $500,000 to tear it down. It's not structurally deficient or anything. It just doesn't look very nice, and
Yeah.
we have no use for it currently. And so a couple years ago, we started talking about the idea of, well, maybe we should preserve it. We could do something neat with it, like a art project, or paint something on it that looks nice. Or we talked about just painting it white and putting City of Norman on one side and the OU logo on the other. And so we talked about a bunch of different things, and couldn't really come to a decision on anything specific, and had to come up with the funding to do it. So this idea came up about a year ago. I think it had been kicked around a little bit. I remember an OU employee from, I think, facilities maintenance approached me, came to my office and spoke to me about it, and said, I see this water tower every day when I'm at work, and I've just been wondering what you guys are going to do. And have you thought about, the Fansville commercials with the Boz? And I thought, yeah, I kind of had thought about that. And that's kind of where it started. And then a council member, Councilmember Dixon, he had a cousin that works in the corporate world. She knew somebody at Dr. Pepper, and they responded really quickly and said they were very interested in partnering with us. And so we entered into an agreement 2 weeks ago. The council approved unanimously, and they're going to basically fund most of the cost it would take to repaint the tower and put their logo on it. So this will preserve it for another 10 to 15 years, and then people at that time can decide what they want to do from there. If they want to keep the
That's-
Dr. Pepper thing, or do
That's
something else.
cool.
That is cool.
That
That's
is
very
really,
cool.
really cool, man.
That
Well,
is really cool.
well, listen, we really appreciate this,
Thank
man.
you,
This is
man.
really
That's
cool.
really cool.
Absolutely.
I really
Yeah,
appreciate it
thank
so
you.
much.
The
Great
Mayor
honor.
Mayor Holman,
Yeah.
thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
That's
much.
awesome, Al. Now, we got another
it's
big
so cool.
surprise, too, coming up, don't we, Al? Later
Yes.
on?
Yes.
Okay, at 4:25, we're going to talk to Bob Stoops.
Yep.
And he is
Jackson Hole is
Jackson Hole?
daughter's getting married.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is she getting married there?
Yes.
Well, they're smart not to get married here.
Absolutely.
My gosh, 150 degrees. But yeah, Jackson Hole probably. I wonder what the weather is there. It's probably pretty nice. Great.
Yeah, I bet it's really nice.
By the way, you want to know who you need to thank. It's not just him, but you want to know that you need to thank for what just happened. For this,
Yeah.
Tony.
Really?
Am I right, Tony?
Well, yeah, Tony knew the mayor. That's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Just me coordinating.
That's really
Yeah,
that's
Tony.
really cool, Tony.
It's Steven wanted to do it, but obviously Tony was a big part of it
Well,
too.
I
So
appreciate that. It's a great honor. It really is. Really neat.
Good dude, and you're a good dude, Al. Good to have you back.
yeah, it really is.
That is so cool.
Really is cool. Mark Rogers is saying some great. He's saying five. Mark Rogers said at 5 p.m. it's going to be Morgana,
The kissing bandit.
the kissing bandit.
That's
Is she coming in here? Well, listen now. Before we start talking some things, tell us about how your trip went. You just got back.
Nothing crazy happened, so it went really good.
Really?
Yeah,
Nothing?
nothing.
Wow, that's unbelievable. You don't have any stories.
No. Not
No
really.
heart attack or nothing like that, huh?
I went to the hospital once.
Oh, well then you got something. What'd you go to the hospital for?
Gas and diarrhea. So it's not a glamorous hospital story.
No, you're right. It's not.
And
That's
you
not
know-
that glamorous.
I got it from drinking so much beer.
Is that what it was?
I don't, I drink probably a little bit more wine than I do beer, but I was just drinking beer at the beer there. And I got a hospital. I'm in there 10 minutes. You tell them what's happening. He gives me 3 meds. Next day I'm fine.
Let me ask you this.
Costs
Do you-
$35 also.
Man, that would be nice. Hey, let me ask you. Do you ever drink water when you're there? When it's like hot and stuff?
I drink every day. The hotel I stay in gives you massive bottles of water.
And you drank them?
I drink a bottle of water every day.
Okay. Well, just making sure because
With my Mio,
with your Mio, that's right.
Yeah.
You got to use the Mio. The Mio is the ticket.
especially with the electrolytes, gives you, so you don't get dehydrated.
So you don't get diarrhea and whatever.
Well,
you
the
had.
beer did that.
Oh, the beer.
And
did
then,
that. The beer hurts you
what-
with diet. With
what
with
I
the,
did from medical point of view,
What's that?
I switched from bottled beer to draft beer.
Oh, that was good for you?
And yeah, Google said gas, draft beer is definitely better.
Really?
Absolutely.
Google told you that?
Yes, it did.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
Yep, Dr. Google.
I don't know if I believe in Google. I don't know if
Dr.
Google's
Google.
real. I don't know if Google's.
So-
So nothing. So you just you had some good food?
Had some great food. Yeah, some great seafood and
The German restaurant still going?
German restaurant still going. Went there and
Do they have ham hocks?
they have pig knuckles, pork
Okay,
knuckle, and the same
okay.
thing. Oh, unbelievable!
Isn't that good?
It's amazing.
Man,
So,
I like that stuff a lot.
And I want to thank also. I got today. My phone's been blowing up. People, congratulating me and everything. Now we got a Mark Rogers thing here. But yeah, I want to thank all the people. Been so nice and everything, and you've been a great job promoting this whole thing.
Well,
and
you deserve it. You deserve this and more.
And the people here at Othello's that's hosting the thing.
Oh yeah,
it's really.
I mean, we couldn't have a better place here.
And who would have known when I started on August 10th, 1976, that I have a microphone there 50 years later, still doing it. When I thought my radio career would have been when Lou Staples, the guy that hired me at KTOK in 1976, he's who I co-hosted it with, and he committed suicide in June of 77. And I thought my radio career was over then. And people at KTOK said no. Also, a great story. Ken Gaines was the general manager at KTOK. Great man. And after the first week, he came in and he goes, Al, I think you're doing a good job, but you got to loosen up. So no one ever told me that after that moment there when he told me I got to loosen up.
I cannot believe in the 35 years I've known you that anybody would tell you to loosen up.
Yeah, I loosened up.
Now,
So,
you remember when I started, you knew I was told, I didn't know what I was doing, man. I was clueless. Were you the same way when you started? Or you had the guy with you? Was he the one that was getting you down to breaks and stuff?
yeah.
Oh, okay. So you had somebody there to at least help you.
Yeah, and he was putting the carts in and everything else.
Oh, he was
back
doing
then.
that too, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So all I did was talk then for an hour.
Okay. And you took phone calls?
I think we took phone calls, yeah. So
Was it mostly OU football back then?
Well, in August of '76, it was nothing but OU football. Think of then, there was no.
That
and-
was
and-
75 was
and-
the game of the
and-
century,
well,
right?
No, 71.
71, I'm sorry.
And we were the flagship state for OU football and basketball.
Right. Okay.
So we were carrying OU football and basketball then, and then later on, I got Dave Bliss on. He got me the job as being an analyst on radio for about 9 years, and I worked with John Brooks.
So he's coming on at 6?
Each coming on at 6.
Okay.
And then Tinker Owens will be here at 6:25.
Okay. And then we also have Bob Stoops coming up here in about
and we got
10 minutes.
Switzer told him. Switzer had to go. One of his dogs to College Station to a rescue center or something, or Barry's really big charity-wise into rescuing dogs.
Mhm.
He and his wife. So
So they had to go to College Station?
he's on the College Station. So we'll get him on the phone.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, while you were gone, there wasn't a lot. It was an interesting time. We did have the LeBron thing. What are your thoughts about LeBron going to the 76ers?
Well, the one thing I read somebody on CBS Sports wrote, is this the greatest starting line?
Oh, I couldn't believe I watched
Yeah.
that.
I go, the answer is no, okay? It's a simple answer. People trying to say stuff like that and everything, it's just stupidity.
I mean, think about this, Al. So Brown, the kid from Jaylen Brown from the Celtics, after the season was over, he said this was his favorite year of all time. And why was that? Because he was the number one guy, right?
Yeah.
And they did well, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Now he goes to the 76ers, and he's got all these different guys. How can he be happy?
Oh, I think he probably wants to win the championship.
Well,
and
yeah.
everything.
Do you think they can win the championship?
No doubt they can. They can win the East. I don't think they can win the whole thing. But, in fact, what I saw, the Knicks are favorite in Vegas now in the East?
The Knicks are the favorite, yeah. The Thunder are one in the league. Sixers, they're tied. It's actually interesting. The Thunder and the Spurs are tied. Knicks are next, and then the Sixers.
Okay.
And that's probably about right. Even though your Knicks won it, they're never going to get the credit they deserve.
Why hasn't Casey Wallace signed?
I don't know. That's interesting, isn't it?
I keep on reading. They expect to sign a $1 million deal.
Yeah, it was going to be $27 million a year.
This said $100 million.
$100 million?
I don't. So I would think that's going to happen. I I thought it was interesting. The Thunder tried to sign the guy from Denver.
That was a brilliant move by him.
Oh yeah,
It put him over the put him over the thing.
Yeah.
Was that brilliant? Because he's a good player and they would have helped him. But if he doesn't, they have to sign him. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, Presti is playing chess when everybody else is playing
Absolutely.
checkers.
No, it was brilliant.
You want to know the other thing that's crazy? That I don't know if you know. He sent Dort and Wiggins to Atlanta. Well, you know what Atlanta has? San Antonio has their first-round pick this year.
Wow.
So the better Atlanta is, the worse that pick is.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, listen, I don't think that's the only reason, but I guarantee it was in his mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the guy's amazing, isn't
Atlanta
he?
got a chance to be pretty good.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. They got 2 of the top 5 players defensively in the league now with Dort and the kid that I love, Preston. Who's the kid at Atlanta that I love defensively? At Atlanta. What? Dyson Daniels. Thank you. Yeah, he's unbelievable. And we know what Dort is. They're going to be tough.
They're going to be tough.
The East is getting a little better. Now, I heard somebody also say that the East is now better than the West, and I'm thinking slow down a little bit on that. But there are teams over in the East getting better.
There's no doubt. You look at, well, obviously Philadelphia and the Knicks, Boston, Indy going to be good this year.
Yeah, you're
Atlanta's
right.
gotten better.
Detroit,
probably after the first 2 teams, the East probably in the middle. It's probably better than the West.
it's close.
Well, Denver's good. Let's not forget
Denver's
about Denver.
good, and Minnesota always plays
Yeah.
well. Now, they're different. They're bringing in Ball. I don't know what they're doing. They got rid of both of their 4 men. Does that make any sense?
No.
I mean, that's just dumb, really, really dumb. So, yeah, it's going to be – I mean, NBA season is going to be great.
Well, and then how you know what I thought was interesting in football is following that
Mhm.
the SEC picked OU to finish 7th in the SEC, and the coaches poll picked them 9th in the country.
I know.
I mean,
I-
I've never
yeah.
seen a disparity. And obviously, the SEC media doesn't believe in OU.
No.
Last year, they had nobody in. How does nobody in the OU defense make first-team defense?
Well, they were the best team in defense in the league.
And they're supposed to be one of the best in the country this year.
Yeah, I know.
So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that was that team and everything was a little bit crazy. But, yeah, listen, I mean, OU's got a great chance this year. Obviously, the biggest game of the year, I mean,
Michigan.
you got to beat Michigan. If you
Gotta
don't
beat
beat Michigan, the season's going to be
Yeah.
it's going to be hard. But if you beat Michigan, then if you could figure out a way to split with Georgia and Texas somehow, that'd be really good. They got a tough schedule.
No doubt.
But later on, they could get some momentum like they did last year,
yeah.
playing some of those teams. So
Well, again, that's people don't talk about it. Is Mississippi being here?
I know it. I know.
Chambliss?
I know. Chambliss. Yeah. No, you're right. Chambliss is, boy, he's a good player. I don't know why. Why did the NFL not like him?
I don't understand that. That makes no sense at all.
Yeah. By the way, Blaine said that Cole Sullivan kid's been tearing it up for
Yeah,
Michigan.
he's been really good.
He's not going to start, though.
No, but
He'll play a lot.
he'll play a lot at cheetah and net linebacker.
Yep. Somebody told me that what's Daniels, the kid that came from OSU,
Yeah.
said somebody told me that they think he's better than him.
Well, we'll see. I mean,
I know Daniels had a great year.
Had a great year.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Had a great year.
It's got to be crazy for him. He's going to go to Michigan, right? Where he came from.
Yeah, that is crazy.
By the way, somebody just asked me on Instagram, has Al ever been to the area, Columbia, that got hit by the earthquake?
What area was it?
I don't know.
I really don't pay much attention to the country of Columbia. Right
That's
now.
what I would think, yeah. I would
So-
think that was not something.
If it could wipe the country out, I go yes. Okay. My love for that country, I really can't.
Oh, wow. All right, why don't we take an OG&E break? When we get back, we're going to talk to Mr. Bob Stoops. Daughter getting married. They're up in beautiful Jackson Hole. It is 50 years for the man, Mr. Al Eschbach. We're here at Othello. Still room and time for you to come on down, get something to eat. Great, great Italian food. We'd love to see you, meet Al, and tell him thank you. I got to by the way, Major Ed said he wanted to tell you that thank you so much, and he loves us.
Well, I appreciate it.
All right, we'll be back with the legend, Mr. Al Eschbach, next. This show's known as The Dominant
Duo.
The Sports Animal Studios, powered by the OKC Thunder.
Level up your game this summer at Thunder Youth Basketball Camps, presented by Simple Modern. Kids ages 6 to 16 across Oklahoma can learn new skills, compete, fun. Find a camp near you at okcthunder.com/summer camps.
Chuck E. Cheese with the $49.99.
We're back. We are back here at Othello's, and it is a beautiful, beautiful day inside here. A lot of people coming out to see Al. 50 years on the radio. Did somebody unplug something or something? We got to get Al on here. Let's make sure. Can you hear Al?
No, can't do nothing.
Can't hear nothing? That's not good. What happened? We'll figure it out here.
Okay, I think I got some.
You got it now? You good? Okay. Well, let's this show's known as the Dominant
Duo.
Okay. We got a special guest. Al set him up. You want to go ahead and do it, Al?
Mr. Bob Stoops, who's up in Jackson Hole. Got the weather right now. His daughter's getting married. And congratulations for that, Bob. And I guess you're pretty excited about being up there. Another kid getting married. Was it? This is the first one, right?
Great. Yeah, first one. Mackie, our daughter Mackenzie. Yeah, marrying an Oklahoma State guy, but I'm okay with it. Leonard Garrison, good guy, really good guy. I only have to say that because he's sitting right next to me right now.
I hear you.
That's okay. But honestly, it's a blessing. Everything's great. It's amazing. It's high this week. It's today. It's like 88, and it feels like it's 70 back in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic. And anyway, it'd be fun to be there at Othello's. What a great spot. That's a great dinner spot and lunch there in Norman. Love Othello's.
Yeah, you only have one daughter to you have to get married off. I had 3 of them, so this is your last daughter. You should be happy.
That's why you're still working and I'm retired.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
And if I could get a job like you and Al, where you could take 25-day vacation and still get paid, I might still be working.
Well, come join us then. Come with us. We'd love to have you.
I'm not controversial enough for you too.
Oh, get out of here. You'll fire some things out there. Hey, Bob, we're celebrating obviously Al's 50 years. Go back. Everybody was wanting to talk to you when you came and you stood in front of the building and you said, we don't make excuses and everything. Go back to the first time, if you can remember, that you got to meet Al. And obviously Al's, with that accent and everything else, and his hat's a little different. Go back to that little part when you first got to meet Al.
Golly, congratulations, Al. That is amazing and good for you. 50 years and still rolling. That's fantastic. I listen, all respect to Al. I was swimming when I got here, so I cannot even fathom the first time I met Al. First time head coach, just got here, didn't have my whole staff together. I mean, I have no idea.
I got to tell you this story, and you'll remember, Bob, when your brother Mike was getting married, and we had the bachelor thing out in Las Vegas. And I don't know if you knew that Mike invited me. Anyway, I come strolling into the hotel that weekend and into the room, and I think you got a glance at me, and I go, Mike, why did you invite a media person here?
Well, I'm sure I said it. I won't deny it, but I know me. But that just made me be a little more reserved rather than what, which was probably okay. Which is my reserve is still can be pretty strong.
But Bob, the thing about Bob, he's back east and. He went to an all-boys Catholic high school like I did.
Yep.
So we've over the years we talked about a lot of stuff like that. The backgrounds are the same. Kept from working class.
We know
family.
all the good Italian meats, all the good pizzas, like I said, all the good Italian meats, all the dinners.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Jim, you love Pittsburgh. I grew up 45 minutes from Pittsburgh, so it's not really east, but it's sort of the beginning of the east.
That's right.
I'll tell you this: where I grew up, it sure as hell isn't Midwest. I'll tell you that.
That's for sure. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So very lucky though the way we grew up. I feel so.
No doubt, yeah.
Well, it's got this great story, Bob. This kind of guy Bob is. After
I got back from Thailand the last time, and he hears that I had a heart attack. So he gives me a call, and
Yeah.
Hey, Jim, I didn't hear for like 4 days, 5 days after he'd been home. I'm listening to something rebroadcast on your bill. I go, Al had a heart attack.
I
I'm
know.
like, what the hell?
Isn't that
But
unbelievable?
I'm sorry, Al. Go ahead.
yeah. So it's and what I always remember, and one of the first thing I asked Bob, tragedy when his dad had a heart attack on coaching a game
Yeah.
at a young age, and I thought about that and everything, and that just that is just unbelievable.
We don't need to revisit that, but I did call Al immediately when I heard.
Yeah.
I probably woke him up. It was probably 10, 11 o'clock in the morning.
No doubt.
And I said, Al, I'm late calling you. I said, I had no idea. I just heard this. And anyway, I'm just glad he was okay and wanted to hear about the whole experience.
The one good
It's
thing,
amazing.
I had the heart attack as soon as I got to Thailand, and I stayed the rest of the 3 weeks for vacation. I didn't come back or anything.
And of course, didn't surprise me. I started laughing. I said, "Of course you stayed and finished out your."
Well, and then he comes on the air and he says it like he stubbed his toe. He comes on and he goes, "Yeah, I had a heart attack." I'm like, "What? I didn't know it."
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Like I had acid reflux last night. I took a pill and I'm fine now.
That's beautiful. Hey, let me ask you, Bob. Now you've been out of coaching for a little while. In the league down there. How you feeling? You feeling good?
I didn't do the UFL this past year,
Right.
and that's okay. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I just couldn't get myself to leave home for 3 months. Everything's down in Dallas, and no, Carol could come and go. It's not that far. It's still. I'm like, what am I doing? I loved it. I enjoyed it. But I just, again, didn't want to leave home for 3 months and too many other things going on.
But did you miss coaching at all, or you were good?
Oh, that part of it, I missed the players.
Yeah.
To me, that was always a deal. And to be honest, in the UFL, I was paid attention in meetings, obviously, and contributed here and there, but I didn't get in my guys' way. So I couldn't say I was coaching as hard and strong as I was when I was at Oklahoma. It's just, I allowed the other guys to do the bulk of it. And I, just motivating and being in front of the players, getting them accountable, that kind of thing. And it's fun. The players are the best part of it. Always have been.
You had a good time going up to Omaha watching the College World Series, didn't you?
Oh, it was fantastic. Skip Johnson, and I know, Jim, you got to know this. What a great coach.
Yep.
What a baseball guy. And I got to know, Skip and how good he was through Toby Keith. Toby was a huge baseball fan, and he loved Skip. And when Toby's talking to me about him, so I started following him, and man, he's revered and respected in the game. And I guess, Jim, there are a bunch of, probably to this day, still professional pitchers still come work with him.
Oh, there's a bunch. Listen, there's a bunch of people that he has coached, and
Yeah.
he's one of the best. He's one of the best pitching coaches around. And a lot of times, you know how this is in football. Guys can be really good coordinators, but maybe they're not the best head coaches. So when he became a head coach, there were people saying, "Well, we'll see what he can do." Well, he's obviously shown that he can do it. And then you look at those young pitchers who came along, and at the end of the year, those freshmen, the way they were throwing, that's all because of him. I mean, he's amazing.
No question. To start, 3 straight pitchers and then 2 or 3 again?
Yep.
Like all freshmen to go through the playoffs and in the series. Just what, just what people who follow it. And I've been following now for the last, hard for the last 5, 6 years. It doesn't surprise you when you realize his background.
Hey, Bob, you like this 5 for 5 that they've done now? You got 5 years. You can play five.
I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, I totally do. None of this going to court. Judges in one state are different than judges in another. That's ridiculous. and you got guys 27, 6, 7 years old playing. I don't know and I don't know, but like, how old was Pavia last year? Anyone know?
He's about 24,
Yeah,
25,
people
something like that. Yeah, he's been around a long time.
24 is not bad, but you get into these guys that are in their 6th and 7th year. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Now it's real simple. Once you leave high school, you got 5. I mean, in that way, most guys won't take all 5. But anyhow, I think it cleans some things up. Now they need the biggest headache to clean up would be just playing 5 years for 5 different schools. That doesn't make any sense.
No, you're right, Bob. You must feel.
How would you like to be a baseball player or a pro football player and be a free agent every year?
No, that'd be beautiful, wouldn't it? Unless you had a bad year. If you had a bad year, you wouldn't want it. But any good year, you definitely want it, right? That's the way it is. Hey, Bob.
Absolutely.
I have to. I would assume that you've got to feel really, really proud of Brent Venables because, you brought him here in the very beginning. He's a Kansas State guy. You know him well. And, a little bit of struggle here and there. But I'm telling you, this is the first time in a while that some serious defense has been played. Well, since you were the head coach, that's got to make you feel pretty good, huh?
Totally does. I absolutely, everyone knows that. Well, Brent and our history goes all the way back to, I recruited him out of high school. So as a person, as a man, as a father, a husband, they're not a better guy in the world. So, and passionate, works his ass off all the time. So yeah, no, I'm a huge fan of Brent. And I applaud him, and we'll see. We got to keep going and keep building. But I think he's been very intentional on building the program. And sometimes you have some setbacks when you do that because you're not going to sacrifice something, that'll pay off, later on down the road, whatever it may be. I don't know. But yeah, he's the right guy. He's as good a coach, in my opinion, as there is out there. And, and I believe great things are going to continue to come. We're not, I know he's been here, 4 years now?
Mm-hmm.
No, Brent's about all the right things. And so, there's always give and take. We had incredible offenses. Well, when we started, we had incredible defenses, right? When we win a national championship game, 13-2. Now, and then as time went, offense sort of became the lead dog and defense wasn't as good. And then, so far here, defense has the lead and offense got to catch up. So to me, it's striking the balance where you have both of them together. And I think I've heard you guys or a bunch of people say it. You're not winning national championship anymore with just defense.
Yep. No,
But
you're
damn
right.
sure not winning it with just offense either. So it's striking that balance of being able to be good enough at both to be able to win it all. And, in this system, going through playoffs and all is more challenging. And, and that's, everyone needs to recognize that for Brent too, that it is more challenging now with all the games that have to be played against top-ranked opponents. But anyway, I really got great belief in Brent and love what they're doing and his staff. He got a great staff. So, hopefully we could just keep building on it.
You like the idea of a 24-game playoff and no conference championship games?
I don't. It's not. I've always felt less is more. 16, in my opinion, is too many. I'd love conference championship games to mean, like it did for us, damn near everything, and have 8 teams in the playoff, no buys. That would be my best formula. But what I did in front of my team in 2000, we're undefeated. And we're going into the Big 12 championship game. This is what I mean, where it means everything. I used to go put it on the grease board, each game one at a time. Don't even look at the rest of our schedule. Who's next? And I'd go into the meeting on Sunday if we won, and I'd underline the game we just won. And then I'd put up the next game. And then if we won, I'd underline it, and then I'd put up the next game. And I got there, and we're going into the week of the Big 12 championship game. I erased the whole damn board. We were undefeated. You know, everything 11-0, and I erased it. And I said, fellas, that's what we have right now. We don't have anything. We don't have one thing. Because we don't have the Big 12 championship. And if we lose, we're likely not going to be in the national championship. So if this is what you want, that's what you got. And then I put up Kansas State Big 12 championship. And luckily, we got to come back the next week after that and underline it. And then we had the national championship game. But my point was, back then, and even I just think now, how can you not be in the playoff if there's 24? I don't know. We've been in it damn near every year.
You would. You're exactly.
So
you're right. You would have been in it pretty much every single year. Yeah.
My point is, I like the pressure of the big games. I think fans are going to realize without SEC, Big 12, Big 10 championship games not meaning much. That kind of I don't like that. I love those games. I loved watching them, other conferences, because they meant so much. And to me, that's what we're going to miss, or I'm going to miss.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they're getting a little bit crazy. But, hey, Bob, thank you. We sure appreciate you up there getting ready for your wedding. Hope everything goes well with the wedding and everything, okay?
Everything will be great. Thanks, guys. And congrats again, Al.
Thanks, Bob.
Always good to be with
Much
you, buddy. And look forward to running into you down at Othello's one of these days. Soon. Once I get back from here, and it's going to be a while, I'm in no hurry to get back.
Don't blame you.
All right, thanks, Coach. See you, bud.
All right, see you guys.
Yep, Bob Stoops, always great to have on, and just another great person we're having on today. We got some big surprises coming up. So we got to let you know that. And we're here at Othello. Still a lot of room. Time for you to come on down. Al's going to be going on. You're going on until 7, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Because you've got Tinker Owens at 6:30.
And Dave Bliss at
Dave Bliss at 6. Yeah. So, and we've got, I think Joe's coming by. I'm pretty sure Joe's going to come by. So anyway, time for an OG&E break. You may qualify for $3,000 in home energy upgrades. Visit OG.com/efficiency to learn more. Here at Othello's with Mr. Al Eschbach. Barry Trammell's in the house. He's coming up next. This show's known as the Dominant
Duo.
Tulsa world joins Jim Traber and Al Eschbach. Beery is furnished by Mathis Home, featuring the largest selection of stylish furniture with unbeatable prices. Visit a Mathis Home store or mathishome.com. This is Total Dominance on 98.1 FM, WWLS, The Sports Animal, thesportsanimal.com, and the Sports Animal app.
We're back here today. 50 years Al Eschbach's been on the air. We're here at Othello's. Come on down and have a good dinner. Great food here, drinks, whatever you want. And, of course, Al and I will be here along with a lot of people. And you know who's joining us? Mr. Al Eschbach and Mr. Barry Trammell. And this show's known as the Total
Dominance Hour.
Tram, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Thanks for coming out.
I'm doing something I didn't do 50 years ago.
What's that?
Listening to Al.
Yeah, I wasn't listening either.
Listen, here's the deal. If I'd have known, I'd have listened. I was thinking about this, Al. There was no marketing for your show.
No.
Nobody told anybody that all of a sudden Al Eschbach's on the radio. Maybe there was an item in the journal, but the Oklahomans certainly didn't want it. They pretended you didn't live on
that's
planet
a great
Earth.
Point. That's
and that was the way people, you know.
That was the only way back
The
then.
only way, unless you took out a TV ad or something. So
how long into his tenure did you find out about it?
I don't know, but
you don't know.
It was within a few weeks.
I'll tell you what. I go back and look at stuff. He was in Orange Rescue. He wrote an article on me.
Oh, did he really?
Yes, he did.
Do you remember that, Tram?
I wouldn't have. I don't think I would have written it before 1979.
No. Later on, when you were at the transfer. Later on,
when you guys went off sports, the old WWLS or whatever it was.
Out there on Indian Hills Road.
On Indian Hills Road.
Yeah, you were one of the few all sports stations, the third or fourth in America, something like that.
That's right.
WFAN in New York and one in Denver.
Denver.
That's right.
Yep. Yeah, you were third. This was third.
You know, Barry, living here, that sports work will just. I didn't know. Lou Staples called me one day and he goes, "Hey, I work KTOK do show." He said, "Would you like to do something?" I go, "Is it pay money?" He goes, "Yeah." So I said, "Okay." There was no such thing.
You know what it's like? It's a little bit like the air raid.
Oh, the offense.
In this way, the spread was invented because some coach somewhere, long before Hal Mummy and Mike Leach, but wherever how far the roots go.
Yeah.
Said, you know what? It'd be easier to move the ball if we just spread everybody out and make the defense
have to cover more
the
area.
Whole field.
Yeah.
And you know what? And all of a sudden it worked, and everybody said, "Oh yeah." And you know what? Everybody said, "Why didn't we think of that before?"
Of course, you always say that.
That's what it is with talk sports radio in a place like Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Why didn't we think of that before?
Well, Al, you remember when we got that when we were honored by ESPN as the top, per capita in the country up in Boston. They came out and talked to us and did an interview with us, and they couldn't believe the amount of people that listened and what it was all about. And at that time, Al had been getting after it for about 30 years, because that was about 20 years ago. Yep. And they couldn't believe it. They could not believe it. Boston, huge city, blah, blah, blah. But we were number one in the country per capita. And it's because these wonderful fans. And, of course, it's because of this guy, what he started.
Yeah, and within, 4 or 5 years, there were some other sports talk shows. Like KNOR had one, and I don't know who else. But so it caught on pretty quick.
Here's my question for you, Tram.
6:15 to 7. That were your hours originally, I think, if I remember right.
Yes, on KTOK.
Yeah, that's right.
Did they do news from 6 to 6:15?
Probably.
Yeah.
It was a news sports station.
It was a news story. Yeah, news station.
Not news station.
Right.
Yeah, the news station.
Tram, let me ask you, when in your career, how long into it did you say to yourself, I think I'd like to do some radio too? And then when's the actual date you first did it and where? Help me out. I don't remember exactly.
Okay, here you go. It didn't matter when I ever thought about it, because the Oklahoman wouldn't let me.
That's exactly right. I knew that was true, which is an absolute joke, but go ahead.
It was misguided. So, even if I thought about it, it wasn't going to happen unless I left.
Was the guy in Chicago the first guy that people started what was his name that they let do radio? What was his name?
I was the first one they started letting it do.
I'm talking about it nationally, though.
What do you mean?
Like what? No newspaper used to let anybody do it, and then they let that guy in Chicago.
I don't know who. Do you know?
Bayless did it for a long time.
Well, I mean, Al was.
I was the first.
Well, that's right. I mean, what am I talking about? Yeah, I forgot about Al.
I was the first one. Yeah.
He didn't quit the Journal.
Okay, so you were there, and you were saying to yourself, "I can never do it."
But
so
here's
who cares?
what happened. Here's what made him.
relent. If
Okay.
I was the sports editor
I remember that.
and the not the animal. Was the animal, when did it form, before 02 or
98.
98.
Okay, so the animal was running,
formed.
but somebody else came to me with an idea for a
Wasn't
show.
it WKY, our sister
No,
station?
no,
Okay,
it's
okay,
somebody
okay.
else.
Okay.
So I just took a flyer and went and asked him again. And turns out we had a guy that had worked in sports, that his job was being phased out, and they were looking for him for a place to go. And they thought, you know what? He'd make a good sports editor. Let's just let Barry give up the sports editor job, keep writing, and he can do the radio.
Were you cool with that?
I thought it was great. I thought it was
Because
fantastic.
the sports editor was not that easy, was it?
No, it's a hard job. It's a time consuming. I enjoyed I enjoyed having a say in what we were doing.
Sure, yeah.
But it was very taxing.
I didn't like being sports editor. Firing people is not a fun thing to do.
Well, no, I didn't. I only had to do that about twice, I think.
Did you fire some people, Al?
A couple of people.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, it's
That's when you hired Jenny, right? When you were the
I
sports
was the
editor?
sports editor when I hired Jenny, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
George Schroeder, I hired George.
Oh, yeah, George. What a great hire there.
I had some winners.
I had Bob Person.
Yeah,
What hurt me?
Bob had a
Wow.
long career in Oklahoma. He
So what was the year then? What year?
2002.
So 2002, you did that show. Did you like it?
Yeah, I didn't like. I was 4 to 7. It's a little deep into the night for me.
Yeah.
If Al's time slot works for Al, but I don't think it worked for me all these years. You know.
Yeah,
A
sure.
little deep. I like your time slot. Get off at 6.
Yeah.
and
No, no, you're right.
That kind of thing.
I know, but Al's been doing this. So many people driving
Yeah.
home for years and
Yeah.
years and years. You know.
Hey,
Remember, he used to go to 8. He used to go to 8
I
for years and
remember
years.
Yeah, forever. I
Yeah,
would say.
forever. Yeah.
I did you one of the greatest favors. You never said thank you.
What was that?
When Craig Humphreys tried to hire me, and I said yes, and then the whole advertising people come over to our house.
Yeah.
And changed my mind. Remember, you were going to morning drive if I came over there.
Was I really?
Yes. You made the decision that you.
Thanks for not coming.
Yeah.
Jim could handle morning drive better than you could.
Well, he did it in Arizona.
I did it in Arizona. Although it stinks waking up at like 4 o'clock
Well,
in the
that's
morning.
no
dude.
good.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
morning
horrible.
drive.
Anyway, yeah, and at the time I was, Al's the only person that I ever went against that I never. Well, you a little bit too, but you a lot. But Al was the only person that I didn't hold it against. You know what I'm saying? When I got fired, Al was like the only one. And then he came, and I'll bet you, were you married then? I think
Yes,
you were. Yeah,
yes,
Dayon probably
yeah,
remembers.
yeah.
Yeah, I come to your house and say, we want you, Craig, get it, blah, blah, blah. You're in, and then they come and beg you, and you stay. And for about 20 minutes, I got really mad at Al. I said, daggone it, Al, blah, blah. And then I thought, okay, whatever. And then, boom, we were together in like a couple years later, weren't we? Yeah, it was amazing. Really was crazy. Let's take an Genie break with Othello's. 50 years this man's been doing it. It's amazing. He has paved the road for all of us, and we appreciate it very much. Come on out to Othello's. He's going to be doing his show till 7. I'm sure there'll be people much later than that. Come out and have some great food and drink. And with Mr. Barry Trammell and Mr. Al Eschbach, this show's known as the Total
Dominance
Hour.
on FM, WWLS, the sports animal.
And we are back here at Othello's, and it's a day that I obviously never thought was going to happen. I'm doing 50 years in sports talk radio, guys, and anyway, we're back with the show known in Abu Dhabi as the Toto
Dominance.
Hour. Okay, I'm going to make an announcement.
That's right. Everybody listen up. We got a big announcement here. This is a big surprise, everybody. Here it is. Mr. Al Eschbach.
People all the time over the years have asked me when I'm going to retire. And why I never answered, because I didn't know when I was going to retire. I had to ask myself when you're going to do it, and when, and then what are you going to do with your life? And I have decided I'm going to retire. I am going to retire at the end of 2027.
Outstanding.
So
that's awesome, big man.
I will have done it 51 years, and then next September I'll be 60 years in the media here. So
that's awesome, man.
It is.
And I will tell you that we've got some unbelievable plans for 2027. It's going to be big time.
And I also hope that I'll be a part of the Football Saturday show.
Well, that's what I'd love for you to be a part of it. I know that. If it's up to me, you'll be sitting there doing it with me.
But yeah, it's 51 years, a long time doing it, and so I definitely decided that is it. I got about 16 more months left.
Well, we're excited you're staying for a while, big boy. Really are. Really are.
You're gonna go 1 year past Connie Mack. Managed the Philadelphia A's for 50 years.
That's right. Wow.
No, I was thinking, Barry, and we talked here about people doing this, and Jim, you're going to be up there about. You might next year will be 60 years for me. You're in how many years?
In the media?
Yeah.
48. This is my 48th football season.
Jim, you're
35 years in the radio for me in September. It's crazy, isn't it? You know what it just means? It just means we're all old.
That's exactly what it means.
Yeah.
That's what it means.
Yeah.
We're telling all of our bosses that we're old, too.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right, though. But
and I'm thinking of other media people that have done it a long time in this state.
Well,
yeah, Ray Soldan went forever. He retired from the Oklahoman, but he kept covering high schools like crazy.
Yeah.
How about Bob Sr.? How long did Bob Sr. do?
Bob Sr. was a long time.
30-some. Bob went from 60
62 or 3.
62, 63 until
whenever 2010 was that.
He went about 37 years or so.
Yeah, longer.
Yeah. He went almost 50 years.
Yeah, almost 50 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy just to do anything that long. And and I want to tell you something too, Al, man. I truly mean this, and I think that everybody around here, the Matt Myers of the world and Cisco and all the people that do radio, I mean, we wouldn't be what we are if it wouldn't have been for what you've done, dude. I mean, you started this thing 50 years ago, and the only reason why we're rolling like we are is because of you. There's sports talk radio stations in other states that are good, they're nice, but as we said, you and I won the award for being the #1 on ESPN for the per capita. We won the award for the most listeners per capita, and that's because you've been doing it and you got everybody used to listening now.
Well, and you and I have been doing it now, the dominance thing, since 1998. So and not that many duos stay.
No, they usually hate each other.
Yeah, I mean
the best
dog and Francisco.
Yeah, the best sports talk. People that don't know this, but the best sports talk radio duos of the history of sports talk radio, they have all broken up and they hate each other. Every one of them. It's amazing. And I think because I'm such a nice guy that Al can.
Oh, that's why I call you Mr. Wonderful.
How can anybody not like being with me for this long?
Huh? I should get a medal just for
I think I need a medal. You got it. You got that deal today. I should get a medal for that. No, you should get a medal for being with me. I agree.
By the way, that disappeared. Where'd it go?
Oh, I gave it to Dayon. Dayon wanted to see it, so
cool.
it's really cool. Let your family.
Yeah, it's been.
Now, one of the things that you missed while you were gone, Al, is one of the great stories of Barry Trammell's life.
Yeah, about the SEC. You got the SEC media.
Come on, tell Al what happened with tell him about your day of travel. Because Al's had some of these too now.
Have you heard the story, Al?
No, I
No.
know nothing about it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I made the mistake of booking a flight with American Airlines as a mistake. And then I made the mistake of not canceling on them. And they made me miss my connecting. For some reason, they flew me to Miami to get to Tampa. And I missed my connector in Miami late Sunday night. They put me on the latest flight possible. I still missed it. I get to Miami 5 minutes before midnight on Sunday night. OU's first up at SEC Media Days. I got an appointment with Roger Denny at 8:30 a.m. and I'm in Miami, and there's no flights out until whenever, 8 a.m. or whatever. And I thought about renting a car, but I thought my chances of survival were about 65% because I'm old and I can't drive through the night anymore. So you know what I did?
What?
I got an Uber. 286 miles, Al.
How much?
$500. But I'm alive and I made my appointment.
He said he slept an hour on the road.
What did the Uber driver say? Hey, take me to
He
Tampa.
did not, I don't know what he said
Tell him.
because he didn't speak English.
He didn't speak any English, but
So it worked out okay.
he was happier as a pig in slop when you told him he wanted to go to Tampa.
Oh my God.
That's so good for him. Is that not beautiful, Al?
Yeah.
And you should have heard Tram the next day too. He was worn out, man, on the radio. He was tired.
I can relate to this. Same thing. I'm flying to Miami on American Airlines, going to a country called Colombia.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, my connecting flight was like at 9:30. We arrive like at 8. I feel good. We don't get off the plane until 9:15.
Oh, they didn't clear the gate.
They didn't clear the gate.
Yeah.
And so and they go, they're supposed to put you up in the hotel. No, they said every hotel was filled. So I slept in the airport until 10 the next morning to catch a flight.
What was the one though that they kept you out on the runway and you got off the plane? Didn't you all get off the plane in the tarmac or something? Remember the time you were stuck on a plane forever?
That's when I was broadcasting and people were freaking. It was 100 and some degrees. And I'm doing radio with you.
Yeah.
Saying people are gonna revolt on this plane. They're screaming.
He's talking to me on the plane.
I'm on the plane talking. People are screaming. We're hot as anything.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I said, Jim, that, I'm trying to talk really low and everything. The people can't hear me and everything. It was getting ugly. And they wouldn't let us off the plane. We're on the tarmac. I mean,
I used to have a 6-hour rule. I'd drive anywhere within 6 hours, and then I'd fly, and then I raised it to 8. And then I'm up to 12, and now I think I'm anywhere in the continental 48. Anywhere in the continent, sign me up for driving.
Really?
Keep me off. I don't mind flying. I don't mind airplanes. It's the airlines that drive me nuts.
Well, listen. You know what? You should be flying Southwest.
He does. He's had problems with them too.
Oh,
Well,
did you really?
Yeah, I mean, they're all, none of them are any good, but
none of them are
American's
great,
the
yeah.
worst. American's the worst.
I don't ever fly on any of them except Southwest. I have flown a couple times on Alaska Airline now to Seattle because they have a direct flight. And because your boy, right? He goes up there.
Yeah,
right?
Max does.
Yeah, Max goes up there. But and they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
Well,
Alaska Airlines pretty good.
I flew Delta. They were great. I mean,
Okay.
you know what? I had good luck with Delta.
Yeah, Delta was
I've had
great.
good luck with Delta.
Every flight was on time. I had no problems at all.
Well, Julie flies free with me on Southwest.
Yeah, they got that companion
Yeah.
fare, yeah.
So how can we beat that? We fly to Maui for just one person. How can you beat that?
You used to fly when you were in Arizona, and that flight was late every Friday night.
Every
remember?
Friday night. Every Friday night. Oh my gosh, what a year that was for me. Julie and I were just talking about that on our podcast the other day. Yeah, that we what a year that I was 1 week in Phoenix, 1 week here. Oh my gosh. And Al be talking to me, I'd be like falling asleep one night.
Yeah, it was
8 hours of radio a day is a little bit too much, Tram. Just thought I'd let you know.
Yeah, I think 6 is the most I've ever done.
Really? Yeah.
I think.
Well, I did 8 every day.
I don't see
it
how
was
you could do
horrible.
it. I
You
don't.
did 4 in the morning?
4 in the morning and then 4 in the afternoon. But you know what? I met Jerry Colangelo and Tom Brenneman, and that's how I got the Arizona job.
Well, there you go.
So it worked out. I did get pneumonia one time during that year, though. I could barely move. So anyway.
That's crazy. Yeah,
Let me say before I go. I don't know how much time.
No, you got time. Go ahead, talk.
I've told Al this before, but I don't know. Speaking for some people my age,
Which is my age.
You
by the
didn't
way.
grow up here though. I'm talking about
Okay,
people
okay,
who grew up in
okay.
Oklahoma in the '70s.
Okay.
Grew up, especially in the metro. They grew up reading Al in the Oklahoma Journal, and he did.
Now, what was the Journal compared to the Oklahoman as far as people getting it?
It wasn't.
It was way smaller in
Yeah,
terms
okay.
of circulation.
But people knew Al was
But
writing
Al
over there.
gave the Journal, absolutely gave the Journal a personality and some prominence, and he was like the face of the Journal. He really was.
Okay.
And the Oklahoman really wasn't like that. There were all kinds of different people would have been. But Al was sort of the face of the Journal and probably kept the dang thing alive, if you want to be honest about it, for several years longer than it lived. But anyway, so, and Al was a unique writer. He'd like do notes columns, which I've always loved, and he'd do those regularly. So he's fun to read. And he was little, if you ever around him, which it's not like today where you know.
Sure.
Sports talk radio introduces us to everybody, but Al had even a certain personality around town, places like Othello.
Yeah, that he was an absolute psycho.
So
there you go.
So it was really cool to read Al, and then for somebody like that, then for me joining the Norman Transcript 1978. And by '79, I was working full time, covering OU a little bit by 1980. And getting to know Al a little bit and working, press boxes and things like that. And then, eventually getting to where I've worked with him a lot. And then getting to do radio with him for what's now been 18 years, I think, or maybe, I think it was 08 when I started. So 18 years. And here, I'm 65 years old. And I still got a cool job, still got a great job. The sports animal, still a blessing in my life, just been a fabulous thing for me. And not only do I get to do it with icons like you guys, one of these icons is a guy who I was reading literally when I was 11 years old. When did you start on the OUB? 72, Al, something like that, or 71?
I probably I covered them some at 71. I think I probably officially was 73.
73.
When
Okay.
12 years old.
Let me tell you what, when I was 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old, 1971, 72, 73, I devoured newspapers.
And that's what you wanted to be back then, right?
I realized that at a young age. So literally, Al Eschbach's been a part of my life for 55 years. Literally 55 years. And I'm sitting with him still today. Even on a cool day like that. So I just think that's really cool.
It is cool.
I got goosebumps with that
when
story.
You're walking around, when you're walking around, things change so much. Think about how everything's changed. Whether it's the way we do things, where people live, what we drive. This is my hometown. Norman's my hometown. I can walk around town, and so much is different than when I was a kid. But some things haven't changed. And Al Eschbach's one of them.
No.
He's still here, still,
I know. It's amazing.
producing
Still sharp as a tack.
sports content. So,
I know.
To me, that's really cool that we still got Al in here in the batter's box.
I never thought about that because you really have taken a similar path as him. Similar, not exact, but you did the paper and then you've been on the radio. Yeah. Now you're still writing now not writing as much. But for a long time, Al wrote stories that were sent all over the country, right? Because, what's her name called in earlier today? Maggie called in, and she said she called you the other day, or when she were doing my show when I was gone, and she said that she would read you out in California in like the Orange County Register or something like that. When you did, remember you were doing something like that?
Yeah, I did some syndicated columns.
Yeah, you were doing syndicated columns. How long has it been since you've been writing a weekly column?
Probably 20 years.
Okay. You miss that at all?
No, I write a column for Othello's. You've read it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Up there in Edmond. Yeah, I like that.
The breakfast
Whenever
place.
we go to breakfast, I read what you say.
Which is really a cool idea and everything. I
like that.
I remember starting the newspaper business and get at college and everything and put to the school paper. And I'm a hippie, got long hair and everything. And the guys with the Oklahoman,
They didn't want any partying.
They were pricks.
Okay.
I mean, they were guys that, okay, and you could, Barry knows them, and the Oklahoma Journal,
And they said, yeah, so they looked down on the Journal.
But I knew everybody. I knew the athletes. I knew the coaches, and I kicked their butt.
Yeah. Was that when Ray Solden was running the show?
No. Ray Solden was a high school.
Who was running the sports page back then?
Oh, good. It's a couple different guys in the 60s and 70s.
What?
So it was stuffy. You're saying it was really stuffy, and you probably, with your hair and everything, they thought, oh, no, we want this guy.
I got to know the athletes.
Right.
When I worked at the school paper, I was a basketball manager. I ate with them. And,
Right. Sure. Yeah.
And I knew, and these guys were old, and they had no clue getting with, and that was a changing generation back then in the early 70s with black players coming in. Some of these probably guys never even talked to a black person before. And
I mean, think about this. We're sitting there doing a radio show, Jim, with somebody who got into the business, was in college, and then got into the business during the Vietnam War. I mean, that's how long ago
wow.
it was.
Yeah, it was a changing time. And again, I'm the hippie, and
let me tell you, this street we're on here, I remember as a kid, people would come in from out of town, relatives and stuff. My parents would take friends or family that came in to visit. They'd take them along Krampus Corner, like Buchanan and White Street here, and every other place was like hippie haven. So it was like a tourist destination for my parents. They'd show it off and say, look how crazy the world's gone. Well, this very street right here.
That is just beautiful.
And then this place had been here forever. I mean, I think 78, 79.
Julie and I walked across. When we got here about 1 o'clock today, and they weren't open yet. So we walked over to get a little bit of lunch. And I started saying to Julie, there are so many places here that aren't here anymore.
Oh, man.
And did you know that they just opened up a what's the chicken place? What is it? What's the chicken place they just opened up over here? I don't know. Anyway, my point is that they got things that have, I don't even remember being there, and a lot of stuff's just totally gone. It's crazy. By the way, the Starbucks went out of business. How does the Starbucks go out of business?
That I don't know. That one I can't tell.
That's crazy. Oh, look who it is.
Alex, you sit over there. They got a table for you.
Yeah, there you go. Come on.
I can't help you on that one.
Yeah, that's crazy. Starbucks is out of it. Julie was not happy. She wanted Starbucks 103 degree weather. It was crazy.
I mean, when I was a kid in high school, I delivered pizza for Orange. Remember Orange Pizza?
Yeah, no, Dad used to eat some. You probably might have delivered to me. I mean,
sure I did. We delivered.
Oh my God! I didn't know you delivered for Orange.
Yeah, and I learned all the frats and the sororities didn't order all that much, but the frats, the dorms, the football.
You did that?
Oh yeah. Hey, listen. One time, I delivered to an OU football player one time, and he opened the door, and he had a joint, and he said, "Don't tell anybody you saw that." If he hadn't have said it, I wouldn't even known what it was. And one time, it didn't happen to me. It happened to another guy. He got Orrin took care of the football players, so he'd send out 5 orders at once, and he'd have them go to the football dorm first, the old Wilkinson, the Bud House. Well, somebody from the Bud House ordered the pizza, so they took him over there first. Knock, went to this door. Knock, guy didn't answer, and so he started looking around, and somebody stuck their head out and said, "Oh, that pizza was meant for old Sam down in room 24." So he'd go down, and they sent him somewhere else.
Oh, they're messing with him.
And not messing with him. Somebody's at his car stealing the other pizzas.
Ah,
So,
very nice.
You know how big Orange Pizza was here.
Yeah,
It was. Oh,
now, where was it? It was
737 Asp.
It was unbelievable.
Right there, 737 Asp is where it was.
Man.
It was. Yeah, it was.
He pioneered delivery.
Yeah.
And then Domino's came, and everybody else started delivering. That's what.
Yeah. That's really cool.
But, yeah.
But,
remember
that's what
Brothers over here, Al? You spend any time with Brothers?
Yes. Alan at Brothers, my God.
I know. It's crazy. It really is.
Yeah.
And you've been through it all, Al. You've been here through the whole time. You're amazing.
That's, well, I appreciate it, Barry.
Sam, tell us about Mathis Home.
Mathis Home, legacy company here in Oklahoma, decade after decade. Outfitting Oklahoma homes. Mathis Homes, low prices beat Amazon, Wayfair, any other online retailers, hands down. Shop and compare. You'll find they have the lowest price on every single item, every single day.
What's so about OG&D this month?
It's right here.
What is it?
OG&E break. You may qualify for $3,000 in home energy upgrades. Visit OG.com/efficiency to learn more.
Thank you very
Who's
much.
in the house? Joe Castiglione's in the house.
And we are here at a great place, Othello's in Norman, and we're going to come back with Dean and Joe C. and more of the total
Dominance.
hour. here at Othello's, legendary Othello's, and just we're here to celebrate me doing 50 years of talk radio. And
Absolutely.
we are back with a show known in Guyman as the Toto.
Dominant.
Not
Hour.
only got Dean Blevins, we got Joe Castiglione here, the Godfather.
Joseph.
Hello, Dean.
Hey, Joe. You're with some rough company down there.
Legends everywhere. Legendary place, legends all over.
We talked about it a few months ago, Joe, that where we did the late night show, and then Meatball gave him one of the greatest nicknames of all time, the Godfather.
I love that name. I think it's a great name.
Isn't that a great name for Italian dude like Joe C?
We're right here, basically in this area of Othello's. They had these big couches. It felt like you were having fireside chats back then.
By the way, I talked to Switzer last night,
Yeah.
and I go, "Hey Barry, you remember we doing the late night here at Othello? Yeah. And you said you went to the bathroom.
That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah, and you never came back, Barry.
The Irish goodbye. The Irish goodbye, Dino. That's what he gave to us when we were here. He just got up and left. We were waiting on him to take a picture, and he never came back.
Yeah, we got Dean Blevins had known me for a long.
Yeah, Dino, what do you think about this guy? 50 years. Is that not unbelievable?
Well, I was trying to be specific about when I met Al. We moved from Arkansas to here in 1962. And so I started going to OU football and basketball games right then. And it was there that I met Al. Al, what was your first year on campus?
My first year on campus was 1963 with Mike Rooney.
Okay, 1963. So it was probably about 1966 that I met Al at the old field house, and I remember the meeting, and then it wasn't long after that I got to know him a whole lot better, and I've been through the whole ringer with him of knowing him as a rapscallion, as a journalist, as a friend. And I was about to say, no, I wasn't going to say that. So I've known all sides of him, and there is only one Al Eschbach. We know that.
And we're all
thank
happy
God
about
we
that.
got him, guys.
Yep.
Yeah,
No, you're right.
Thank God we had it.
Amen. Joseph, you met him a while ago.
Joe knew me in Kansas City.
I did.
Oh, tell us about that, Joe. What'd you think about him coming up there like that?
Well, he stood out. So back then I had part of my job was in radio and television. So I was involved with media all across the state. And so I knew virtually everybody in radio and television. And this one station, Kansas City had really, KMOX in St. Louis was the dominant, and then everybody else started getting.
Right.
But Kansas City really leaned into sports talk, big time. And I remember, maybe your first week there, I'm in Kansas City and I'm listening, and Conrad Dobler.
I took his place.
Yes.
I took Conrad Dobler's place.
That's right. I remember that.
Hearing about this guy, Al Eschbach, and I knew Conrad a little bit. And when he came on the air, it's like, wait a minute. There wasn't any satellite radio,
That's
so
right.
I wasn't picking up a New Jersey signal. Like, what in the world? So that's when I got to know Al. Like, obviously, never ever thinking I'd end up.
I
here
know.
in
And then you come
Oklahoma.
down here. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
so
Well,
then get 28 years that I've known him here.
That
Longer because of his
And,
ties to Kansas City.
and Dean, I started covering Dean. I was with the Oklahoma Journal, and and I started. I covered Dean's. I think he broke his leg against Ada. First game of the season,
Yeah.
junior year, was it not?
Well,
Dean
you
at Ada.
actually even did something that you actually started writing about me when I was in ninth grade. So that was like 1970. But yeah, we had a season opener my junior year. And yeah, I had, I heard an ankle later, a really bad one, the one you're talking about my senior year. But that junior year, I had a hip injury that kept me out for like 8 weeks. We were all fired up and thought we had a team that was going to make a run at a state title. And my gosh, I don't know what it would have been if I'd been playing. Probably the same, but I think it was like 1-6 when I took the helm after 7 games. Quite a disappointment. But yeah, that's when it goes back, Al. That would have been 1972.
You know, one thing I wanted to ask Al, I heard Barry Trammell, well, great.
Wasn't that awesome?
Just awesome. Another legend.
Yep.
But Al, you know, the one thing didn't get talked about very often is what drew you to Oklahoma. I mean, you not only came to Oklahoma, but you stayed, which is another.
You're not going to believe what drew him here.
Okay,
Mike Rooney.
Joe has gone through Catholic education. Neither of you two heathens haven't. So I was going to an all-boys Catholic high school, okay? Senor Prep. Academically, I was pretty good. I ranked 176 out of 177 in the school my senior year graduating, okay? So Princeton wasn't calling me. My dad was a fireman. My mom worked in a factory. So I was limited. Oklahoma was ranked by Playboy magazine as the top 10 party school in the country.
Oh, okay.
I had heard of Bud Wilkinson before. I heard they had a good football team. Will Rogers said, go West, but not Will Rogers. It was, who's the guy that said, go West, young man? Yeah, well, anyway.
I can't remember.
So that was it. I mean, I'd never been on an airplane in my life. I got on an airplane and...
Well, where's Mike Rooney? Where's Mike Rooney?
Rooney came with me. He wasn't on the airplane. Here's a story about Rooney. And I talked to Rooney today, by the way. And Mike Rooney's an All-American basketball player at Snyder High School. And a couple years older than me. He got kicked out of St. Bonaventures. And one day he says, hey, where you going to college? I said, I'm going to Oklahoma. He said, why don't you write the basketball coach, see if he wants me. So I write a letter. I find out who the basketball, write a letter. Next day, Bud Willinson's he's athletic. He's called me on the phone. What about this kid? You know, you think
Oh my gosh.
Rooney doesn't have a phone. So Rooney's coming to my house talking to all these people. And so he comes out here my freshman year, and he was a redshirt sophomore then.
And Al, tell him that Joe knows this, but Dean, you don't know this. Tell him how small college football was back in the East back then.
Oh,
Al, tell him. Joe, tell him. It's ridiculous.
Hardly talked about.
No, if we were doing a sports talk radio show back then, we would have never talked college football. It's crazy. And so you didn't know how big it was out here, did you?
Hey, when I went to my first game, they were it was I think they played Wake Forest at home. I'm going to the game. These people, the fraternity guys, were in suits. The fraternity guys in dresses. I go, what the hell is this? Then I find out it's not a sport. It's a religion.
Yeah, that's right.
I go, what is this?
Yeah, Dean, you never grew up like that because in Arkansas it's crazy about football. Here it's crazy about football, but back east, I'm telling you, man, I knew the Oklahoma-Nebraska game, and that was about it, Joe.
Well, and I grew up in South Florida, and at the time, Florida State, Miami were all struggling. They hadn't really hit their peak.
Right.
And so it was pro football, baseball.
What about when you went to Maryland?
Different. You know, Maryland, Maryland was good in football.
Was Claiborne the coach there?
Jerry Claiborne.
Jerry Claiborne, yeah.
Yep. And so then I was getting exposed to ACC, so it was developing.
But basketball was still dominant in the ACC back then.
And then, of course, Florida kind of caught their footing.
Mm-hmm.
When Bobby Bowden was hired at Florida State, they turned that around. And then Miami wasn't until the early 80s when they started turning it around.
And then they dominated,
Yeah, so there wasn't any local interest. So actually, I went to more Oklahoma games as a kid than any other college football, only because they played in the Orange Bowl all the time.
That is crazy.
Literally.
That's exactly right.
Hey, Dino, when you were I know you were being recruited for both football and baseball. Football and basketball. How close were you to going back east? I know North Carolina really wanted you, but you wanted to play football, right?
Yeah, but I was close to going to North Carolina because Dean Smith, even back then, was so respected. I mean, I know Joe will remember Dean Smith was well established in 1975, 74, that part of that time frame. But no, it was so appealing because Bill Lamb, Al will remember Bill Lamb, who
Yeah.
wrestled at OU, just a fabulous guy, good-looking guy, a lot of charisma. Well, he ended up going to North Carolina and being their coach, and was their coach forever. He's like a Hall of Famer back there. But I really like Bill. He kind of had me somewhat convinced to come back over there or to go to North Carolina. But it would have been a basketball only situation.
Right.
But I was pretty close to it.
Wow. Well, it's a good thing you came out here. We have never gotten together with you, so we're really excited that we've been doing this for a long time now. Tell the years that you've been, first of all, knowing Dean. You just said it was in the 70s, but how long have you been doing actual radio with him, Dean?
Well, Al and I had done some radio together off and on, and I did some when I lived in Norman and Oklahoma City before moving to Tulsa. But really, it was when I came back from Tulsa to go to work at Channel 5, July the 4th of 1988. And the first day I know the room I was in at Channel 5 when I called, and it was a short conversation. I called Al on July the 5th and said, "I'm back. Do you want to do radio?" And he said, "Absolutely." You know, Big Al. I said, "When you want to start?" And it was like the day Switzer called my dad and said he wanted to talk to him about getting married. Dad said, "When you want to get married?" He said, 3 o'clock. Well, Al did the same thing that day. When I said, "Well, when do you want to get started?" He said, "Tomorrow." So we started July the 5th of 1988 and have basically worked radio together since then.
40 years, almost 40 years,
1988.
38 years.
That's awesome. That is really awesome, Dino.
That is just,
Well, you've been a big part of all of this, Dean, and we appreciate you very much. You know, Hall of Famer that you are, and it's wonderful now that you're retired. And Al announced today that he's going to retire at the end of next year, Dean. End of 2027 is going to be his last year.
Well, we'll have plenty of time to celebrate.
Yeah,
Al, you're the best.
thanks, Dean. Appreciate your
Look forward
friendship
to
and everything.
seeing you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dino. Appreciate you, brother.
Here at Othello's.
You stay with us for one more,
Yes,
Joe?
one more
Yeah,
second,
sure.
Joe?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
just another quick one up there, so go ahead.
We'll come back with more of the total.
Dominance.
Hour.
Gone.
What'd he do?
Tyler Adams, like Friday before last, he gave him like 5 songs from the biggest hits you could ever imagine, and Tyler Adams beat me. Tony beat me down like that. Gave me like Gary Newman and people like that. It was ridiculous. Okay, let's move on. Go ahead.
And we are back here at Othello's. I'm very fortunate to celebrate 50 years doing Sports Talk Radio from today, and we're back with the total.
Dominus.
With Joey Ciglione. The Godfather, as I said, Meatball gave him that nickname right here at Othello's. And what's your thoughts about the playoffs? It's 24 teams, 16 team, no conference championship games, Joe, what?
Yeah, as of today, it became public that we've added another option. With
20.
Obviously, we are at
20 teams. Just
16 has been
now
talked
it's
about.
20.
Now it's 20. Yeah.
Or 24.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's just crazy.
First of all, we got to think about whatever choice is made. It's got to be geared toward the health of college football, not just entertainment. Because the idea of postseason is entertaining in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
The other part, guys, is we have to make sure whatever decision is made that it keeps the regular season the most relevant. We'll get postseason right if you have the regular season exciting. Every school has a regular season. And so
I didn't know that.
If we dilute it
Yeah.
where it is not important, now you start to get out some of the things that will tear down college football, which is, for those schools that have it, the economic engine to fund all the other
And
sports.
would you say if we go to 24 teams that basically, I mean, teams that finish 8-4 in a conference are going to be getting into this thing, and that's when you say the regular season doesn't matter as much, right?
Doesn't matter as much. There's a sweet spot in there somewhere.
What is it? If you're running the show, what's your sweet spot?
At the moment, I became comfortable with 16.
Okay, that's what I like too, by the way. Al and I have talked about that for years.
I'd rather stay at 12 than to go to 24.
Me too. Me too.
I haven't thought about 20 and what all the machinations mean.
Yeah.
Here's the key. What I do see happening in some of the leagues is an intentional effort to basically ignore what the importance of the non-conference. So you're scheduling 3 non-conference games that are basically layups.
That's right.
And I get you have to have a couple of those in there to help your team prepare, and especially if you're playing in a rigorous league.
Sure.
You can't.
Yeah.
I pushed, didn't go anywhere, but I pushed for a requirement to be eligible to be considered as a playoff team. Doesn't mean you're selected, but you have to be eligible
To be considered.
Require every college football program who wants to be in the playoff play 10 games against Power 4 opponents. You have 8, 9.
I love that.
But it also incentivizes people to play a good non-conference opponent. I think that keeps college. Look at, we're playing took us 15 years to get the Michigan series on schedule. Probably won't happen again in another 20 some years.
No, you're right.
But
You're right.
They found an opportunity. Some of those games are great for college football. The biggest brands, the blue bloods. I mean, you see them on the field, and you're like, this is.
Oh, no doubt. Wait. I've been telling Al for years. My brother played at Michigan. Wait till these fans walk into that stadium. They're not going to believe it.
Well,
you walk up to it, and it's like 15 feet high, and you think, what is this? And then you go, you've been there, Joe.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous,
it's
is it not?
unbelievable.
Yeah.
It gives you, like for us, we have another series with Nebraska down the road. We've got one with Clemson, and now with moving to 9 conference games and waiting to see whether that's going to get valued in the selection committee room.
Mm-hmm. Which
I
is
think
important, by the way.
It's very important because the people that are involved in college football say, sure, we'll play the rigorous schedule, but give us credit.
Absolutely.
11-1 against, not tough competition is not the same as a 9-3 against some of the best. And
I thought Herb Street had one of the great lines when he got beat by Houston that year. He said, if OU had played Sam Houston instead, they'd be in the playoffs.
Instead of Houston.
I mean, they don't value schedule. Ohio State, Texas was Ohio State.
Hey, listen, Al and I have been on the radio for years and years together, and we've said one thing. When it was 2 teams, when it was 4 teams, why would you play big teams? It's stupid. But now that there's 12 and maybe 16 and 24, go for it.
And that's why
the 7th place team in the SEC will get in if it's 24.
That's
maybe the 8th place.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's why I proposed a eligibility requirement.
I like that.
10 teams.
And they just shot you down, said it was ridiculous.
No, they didn't.
They didn't want any part of it.
They weren't on part of it. But that doesn't mean it couldn't come back.
Yeah. Well, at least the SEC, they're having their teams play at least one team from the Final Four, from the
The SEC
Elite Four.
plays 10.
Yeah.
They're already set.
That's right. They're set to play 10.
So
I like that.
non-conference, we moved from 8 to 9, and
Right.
obviously that's gotten a lot of conversation. But people don't talk about the other requirement that there's a P4 requirement.
That's right.
So that is stout. Now you're finding out who are the best teams, because it's not just who are good, but you've got to have stamina for that.
I've always thought, Al, and I know you agree with me on this, Al, the perfect schedule for me would be Oklahoma plays one big boy, one decent name, but maybe not good, like an Illinois, and then some rum-dum that you're going to
And
kill.
as long as everybody else did the same thing.
Yeah, right. Everybody's
So
right.
you don't want to get penalized
Right.
if you lose to Michigan this year and they don't take.
But if it goes to 24, it's then play the big
Then
people,
play the
right?
big boy.
You have to require it.
Yeah,
Because
I
if
agree.
you play Tennessee, I'm not even going to name any schools.
Right,
If you play
we do it. We'll do it.
three
We'll
at
name the
the
bottoms.
bottom,
Yeah, they're being
make
going to
it
beat.
sense.
Yeah, that's awesome. I agree. I didn't know you ever proposed that.
Yeah.
See, that's why I think you should run the show, dude. You'd be awesome. You'd be awesome. You've had a little bit of a health scare here lately. You feeling good?
Feeling a lot better.
You
Thank
look
very
good.
much.
You look good, Joseph. We've been praying. Julie and I have been praying for you, big man.
You got
that.
you
Feeling
got
good.
plans job wise, or someone said you got your grandkid living right by you
Yeah,
now.
I got
So
another 2-month grandson.
That's awesome,
big
huh?
time.
that's really cool.
Yeah, so I'm staying busy. I'm helping in the Price College of Business, and we're working on expanding the sports business program. And
Oh, that's
been
cool.
good. I'm going to go back and teach. I taught for 12 years here at OU, and I'm going back.
And what exactly are you going to teach?
I'm going to teach a leadership course in
Okay.
sports business.
And you're gonna come speak at my class
Yeah,
this year,
I
right?
always come down and speak
Yeah.
in this class. But and then helping out in some fundraising elements.
And then and we can't talk about it, but the three of us have got something that we're working on.
That's right.
Right?
Well, we got to leave it for a little later.
Yeah.
not
No, that's
a little
okay, though,
later.
but we're going to get it
Yeah.
done. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. Joe, we love you, brother.
Yeah,
You're the
I
best. You want
appreciate
the
that.
last thing you want to say about this big man here?
Congratulations. That is a momentous milestone. That is so hard to do what you did. And the part, as many attributes, skills, everything that you've demonstrated over those 50 years. The one thing amongst the many things I love about you, you are totally authentic. You
That's
are
for sure.
authentically Al Eschbach, and you didn't let anybody change who you are. You created something that people wanted to listen to and person that they wanted to follow. And I'm just glad I had a chance to get to know you, other than just a little brief time in Kansas City. 28 years for me, and I'm proud to have known you, man. And look forward to celebrating you all this year.
That's really kind, Joe. It really means a lot to me. It really, really does. Former OU athletic director Joe Gastiglione.
Thank you, Joseph.
Been working with you forever, and you've been a big part of this thing. Putting
Well,
this thing together.
let me just say this. You know that I cry like a little girl, so I'm gonna try not to cry. But I wouldn't be where I'm at, Al, without you. When I started almost 35 years ago, you were the star. I had no idea what I was doing. You welcomed me in. We used to go out and have some beers together. We used to have a good time. It was a wonderful time, you and me. And you really, really showed me what Sports Talk was radio about, not just like reading the newspaper and talking about it, but having fun because we're entertainers. And you taught me all that. And then we were away from each other, and I still was your friend. And then we've been together forever. So I want to tell you that you are the reason why we're the big time, the sports animal, dude. And I appreciate it very much. Thank you, Al. I love you, brother. You're the man.
We're going to come back. We're going to be talking to Dave Bliss, a friend of mine, and then Tinker Owen's going to be out here. Got another hour left, and we'll be back with more 98.1 FM, the Sports Animal.
Tap in with the
You're up.
And back here at legendary Othello's, tell you what, this place, I've been around a long, long time, and Othello's have been around a long, long time. Just a great family Italian restaurant, and always enjoyed coming out here. Just been very, very special to me. And again, I talk to the people off the air and they thank them and everything. It's just I meet some of my best friends that I've had in life. I've met here at Othello's over the years, and it's always been a great, great place. And I'll tell the story. I mean, the one time Texas Tech basketball was here, and I think Switzer got Bobby Knight to come in here after the game, or that before the game, and he came over there, and we sitting in there, and invited to go back into the different part of what those and have a group dinner and everything. I didn't go. I couldn't be a hypocrite and sit and have dinner with Bobby Knight, a person that I did not like at all. So, but there have been other people I've met here over the years and interviewed people and everything. So it's just been just a great place for me, and to meet people, and just incredible. I think we got Craig Humphrey joining us right now. Craig?
Well, we will a little bit later on, but we do have Coach Bliss, Al.
Okay,
Coach
now
Bliss.
we got Dave Bliss. Dave, I was thinking 50 years ago, you and I might have been drinking beer someplace in Norman, right?
I'll tell you, the odds are in favor of that. How are you doing, Al?
Doing great. Doing great, Dave. You came here in 75, a year before I started, and I always thinking people appreciate this story. When Dave got here, Bob Berry was running Channel 4, and Bob Berry came on at 10:30 news and said that Roy Danforth from Syracuse would be named the basketball coach. And I go up to the Oklahoma Journal being put to bed, and I had written a story that was coming up the next day that Dave Bliss would be named the basketball coach at Oklahoma. So my imagine editor comes out and says, "Are you sure what you are writing is true?" Because Bob Berry said Roy Danforth going to be coach, and you know what's funny, Dave? I was Steve Rapogel the head of the Regents then?
Yes.
So Steve Rapogel earlier that day told me that they hired Dave Bliss, and that was and Dave, you have to look back that year. Oklahoma hadn't been in the NCAA tournament, won anything, and your 78, 79 team, that'd be magical for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a terrific period, obviously. But I think I was most surprised. I was in Indiana as Bob Knight's assistant right then, Al, and we had just gotten upset by in the year that right before the undefeated year, or we would have won 65 in a row. But Bob Knight told me, he said there was couple of schools want to talk to you about being their coach. And I said, what schools are they? And he says, Jacksonville, Stanford, and Oklahoma. And so the first school I visited was Jacksonville, and they gave me a personality test when those were popular, and I never heard from them again. So I knew I wasn't going to be their coach. And then I went to Stanford, and I sat in a big, beautiful conference room with about 35 impressive people from Stanford, and they all wanted to know how I was going to beat John Wooden. And I said, I just hope he retires. And he did. He retired the next year. But I always wanted to go to Oklahoma because I made my visit out there, and the people were terrific. And the day that I got offered the job, you'll remember this, and so will a lot of your listeners. Wade Walker was the athletic director at that time, and he calls me up and he said, "Partner, how would you like to be our ball coach? So anyway, that was how I ended up finding out that I was going to have a chance to go to Oklahoma.
And you know what's crazy, Dave? They just voted on a thing. They're building a new arena here, and you were there at the first. You opened the arena, and was it against Oral Roberts? Who'd you play the first game with? It was televised, and they put all the people on the one side.
No, that's exactly right. And actually, it was over the Christmas time. But, a lot of people, we played Texas, I think, and Tulsa at home and had a sprinkling of people and stuff. But you're right, on that game against Oral Roberts, that was like in early January, they asked everybody to go sit behind the team. And so all three people went and sat back behind the team. And we played the game, but I think the thing that I was most fortunate is we recruited some terrific young people, and they saw us through. And a couple of years later, we were lucky enough to win the first Big 8 championship. So that was terrific.
I remember. I got to tell this story. This is a great story, and you remember it well because they passed the Big 8 rule. We're in Kansas City. You played Missouri, so the weather was so bad. So you want to tell the rest of the story on that, Dave? On that icy day at Columbia?
Yeah. No, I mean know the story. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, when Norm Stewart got the high school officials.
Oh yeah, well again, the first year we didn't get an awful lot of respect on a couple of things. And I remember one time you might have been in the room when I called up Chuck Knight.
I was there.
Yeah, and I complained about it. And, so anyway, Chuck Ninus gave me his verdict, and Kenny Rollinson was our trainer. And I said, Kenny, you were here when Coach Wilkinson was here. I said, how would Coach Wilkinson have handled that call with Chuck Ninus? And Kenny says, well, frankly, Dave, that would never happen to Coach Wilkinson. That call would never taken place. And then I realized I was just a young coach.
Well, and you also ripped the phone out of the jack and hurled it.
Yeah, well, it was an exciting first year, and to think that we started out as we did, but then we were able to beat Kansas at Kansas, and we beat Missouri, top 10 team, and we really matured. And I give a lot of the credit to the people we recruited that first year. We were blessed with some real, good, solid people and good basketball players. And obviously, a lot of them went on to coach, and Terry Stotts and John McCullough and people like that.
I remember the South Carolina trip, too. That was a wild trip. And I think Stotts broke his leg or something on that trip. Remember?
I do. And not Dick McGuire, Frank McGuire was the coach, and he was one of the famous coaches in that era. And they had that. Remember the size of the trophy they had?
Yes.
They had it had to be about 3 or 4 feet high, and my players got upset because Frank McGuire wouldn't let us take the trophy home. We won the tournament. We beat his team in the finals, but they wouldn't let us take the trophy.
That was an unbelievable trip. What's crazy, Dave? And I tell people go, what should OU basketball expectations go? I go, okay. Since 1978-79 season, Oklahoma, Dave Bliss got to the Sweet 16. Next comes Billy Tubbs. he gets to the Final Four. Next, after Billy Kelvin comes, he gets to the Final Four. Jeff Capel, Elite Eight. Ron Kruger, Final Four. The OU job, what I'm trying to say, Dave, turned into a pretty good job, did it not?
Oh, it was a terrific job. And, Bruce Drake was ahead of me, and John McLeod obviously preceded us. But I'll tell you what, it was the school always did a good job of presenting itself when we brought recruits in. And so I always was proud, bringing kids in. And obviously we would use Coach Switzer's football program at that time. They were, beating everybody. And that got us, I think, really a great head start. I remember the first event in Lloyd Noble was the Bob Hope concert. Did you happen to go to that concert?
I've been at so many concerts there. I mean, hell, Sinatra played there. Ray Charles played there. It was unbelievable. The arena was made for concerts, Dave. It wasn't a good arena as far as every coach has complained about that arena. As far as you can't get people right on the court, it was made as an all-purpose arena.
Well, and you're exactly right. It was really, I think it was built during the time similar to how baseball stadiums were. Every baseball stadium was all circular, and this kind of was circular, and it was kind of, set up for more observation than participation. But again, I remember the first year we couldn't get the cheerleaders to come to the basketball games. So that was the first year that we ever started the pom-pom girls. And that was because Jan Lane Warner, Jan got some pom-pom girls for us. Remember that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, Kerry Ross was one of them. Kerry, married Dave Dombrowski, the great baseball man. That was good. I got to ask you about Indiana. How, you were there as assistant, the last team to go undefeated in the season. How could Indiana become irrelevant in basketball now, Dave? How did that happen?
I don't know because I haven't obviously been there in a long time. But when we got to Indiana, we came from West Point, literally. I mean, he was at West Point. I was coaching at Cornell. And but Bob Knight just was a tremendous person to build your program around. And the reason I say that is he was a terrific basketball coach during a time when a lot of coaches didn't really work hard on recruiting, and a lot of coaches weren't out in the public and stuff. But we should have been a pretty good team because that team that we recruited at that time, we got the player of the year from Illinois, Quinn Buckner. We got the player of the year from Ohio, Scott May. We got the player of the year, Kent Benson from Indiana. We got everybody's player of the year, so we were pretty good. And I'll tell you another thing that people don't realize. We lost probably one of our best players named Larry Bird. We recruited Larry Bird my last year at Indiana, and he ended up going back home and then obviously later on going to Indiana State. But I honestly always have thought that if Larry Bird had stayed at Indiana, Indiana would have won 2 or 3 more championships similar to what they did the year in '76.
Hey, Dave, it's so great to hear from you again, and thank you for joining me on which is really a big day to me. 50 years doing sports talk radio. You were a great part of my early days in sports talk radio. Thank you.
Well, and you remember one thing I thank you for is you bought my house.
Yeah, when you left, and let me tell you, coaches that come here now are not living in that house. It was a great house for me and everything starting out, but on Lindenwood Lane in Norman, Oklahoma, that's exactly right. The boy house.
Okay. Well, say hello to everybody,
Okay.
and we'll talk.
Take care, Dave. Thank you.
You bet.
Here at Othello's coming up, Tinker Owens, right here on just a great day for me, celebrating this and all the great people coming out here. We're going to come back. We're going to be talking to Tinker Owens right here, 98.1 FM to the Sports Animal.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to
Some new bumper music there. Sugar Pie Honey Bunch for a topic. I imagine Tinker Owens dancing to that at one time. Were you a dancer? Who's a better dancer, you or Steve?
Neither. Well, if you ask Steve, it's him. You know that.
There was
He's Big Brother.
Dude, I was in college with him, and those guys used to go to a place called, they think was a rendezvous club, and
I heard about it, but I was too young.
I mean,
thank you.
yeah, now, where did you party at? What was it? It was O'Connell's probably.
Well, it depended on. Usually we started at O'Connell's, then we went to the South 40.
Oh, South 40, my God.
Out off Classen, and then we hit Highway 9 and we'd go to the Blue Onion Club.
Oh, I've been to Blue Onion Club a million times.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that was quite the way. But you were married, man.
Yeah, but then, well, it wasn't the whole time I was in college, but.
What year? And I saw in the Terry, your wife, 52 years you married, and I came and interviewed you, and you lived in the Switzerland Apartments off of Lindsay Street, wasn't it?
And I still couldn't understand you.
the great story. And Tinker's heard
by
this.
the way, we still have the newspaper with a picture and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was an in-depth story and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Massive story. And you came in 1972. That had to be daunting for first year that freshman they let play, by the way. In 72. And your thrust, actually, I guess John Carroll got hurt. Was it John Carroll?
Yeah, John.
You got thrust, and you're a freshman. Those are guys. Greg Pruitt's on that team. That was a veteran team. Brett Haney and all those guys.
You had, guys like Joe Wiley and Dave Robertson, Leon Crosswhite.
Sugar Bear Hamilton, Derlin Moore.
Great players.
I mean, Sugar Bear was and Derlin was those two great players. You're right. Backus.
Derlin played at least 12 years in the league.
And was Schultz there in 72?
Yeah, Rob was there.
Okay. Man, oh man, Joe Washington was a freshman coming with you.
Yep.
What do you?
Randy Hughes.
Oh, what a great player Randy Hughes was.
Clyde Powers. We had Tony Peters. We had so many great players.
I mean, it was yeah. I mean, that was an unbelievable thing. And you get thrust in the action. You guys go to Lincoln, and Pruitt doesn't play in the game. We whoop them and beat them.
That was an unbelievable day. Johnny Rogers won the Heisman that year, and Greg and Johnny was up for the Heisman, and Greg didn't play.
I'll never forget. I'm on the team bus going to practice down at the Sugar Bowl that year, and I'm sitting next to Pruitt, and Pruitt just saying, I should have won the Heisman. He didn't deserve it, and you know how great it was.
Right. He's a little cocky.
And then you were the MVP of the Sugar Bowl game.
Yeah,
right?
it was
Penn State.
It was very unexpected, and we threw the ball more in that game than I thought we would.
Dave Robertson.
But that's the only record I have left. I'm the first freshman to win the MVP of the Sugar Bowl.
Now, that was, and was Kerry Jackson a freshman with you?
Yes, he was.
How good could he have been?
Great. I think he could have been one of the best quarterbacks ever at OU. But unfortunately, with the situation, with the
NCAA.
transcripts, the NCAA, it just screwed up his career.
I remember he got some action, everybody, and they said he could have been a tremendous player.
But nobody's ever thrown a pass to me. It hit me in the chest and broke the strings on my pads, except him.
First time I think I met you, you played in the what was the All-Star game in Texas? The
Oil Bowl.
Oil Bowl. You and your other split end was a guy named Steve Largent, if I remember.
Yep, Steve's a great guy.
And was Dean Schultz coaching that team?
Pardon me?
Was Schultz coaching the team? Who was coaching?
Yeah, he was a coach from Bayonne, high school coach from Bayonne.
Larry Briggs from Bayonne, Oklahoma.
Larry was on that team.
Never did anything at all. Well, he was here for.
Well, they found out after he was here about 2 years, his eyes were bad, and he couldn't catch a pass out of the backfield or nothing. And he dropped a pitch, and they didn't know it. and by that time we had, the great Elvis Peacock and so many great running backs. He never had a chance.
The question everybody would want to know then, why would a wide receiver come to OU when you were on the wishbone?
Pardon me?
Why would a wide receiver come to OU when you were on the wishbone?
I wanted to come to OU, obviously, because of Steve played here. Of course, I was an OU fan. And I really thought about going to Arkansas only because they were a passing team at the time, which they ended up being a running team after that anyway. But Steve told me he's going to kick my butt if I didn't go to OU, and he's bigger than me, so I decided OU was the place for me.
Well, and it's crazy that in 75, Billy Brooks, his first round drafted, you go to New Orleans and everything, and it was in
and both of us were all Americans.
And both were, yeah. How many passes did you catch in 75?
I caught 12. Billy caught 9. So not very damn many.
I mean, well, was it frustrating?
No, and not really. I mean, you always want to get the ball, but our team was so good. We knew the offense was a running offense. And when you got the guy at the backfield we had, Steve Davis, the quarterback, and a great line, it really was a detriment to our linemen to go pro because they didn't pass block much. So when they got in the pros, they had trouble. But no, I knew it was a running offense. All I cared about was winning games. That's when I was a team player. And
talking to Tink Owens, what do you remember? November '75. You're playing Kansas here, Nolan Cromwell, Laverne Smith, and you hadn't lost the game. You in '72 you got beat by Colorado up at Colorado, so that's the only game you lost that year.
Right.
73 was Switzer's first year. Tie at USC. That's the only blemish. 74 undefeated. 75 you're undefeated going into the Kansas game here.
We obviously should have beat Kansas. There's no question of that. But I think we had 9 turnovers that day. We had like 4 interceptions and 4 fumbles, and then I was punting it my senior year, and they blocked a punt on us because we never practiced it and our snapper wasn't great. In fact, he was a student manager that they promoted because nobody could snap. And Switzer saw Kevin Craig out there one day snapping the ball. He said, "Do that again." He did. He ended up being the snapper. So I had more confidence in him, but I didn't have that much confidence. So normally I was catching the ball off the turf in one step and get rid of it. So my average was started at about 48 yards, and it went down to like 36 yards because I didn't care. Just get rid of the ball. Defense was great. They'll stop them.
And that's Joe Wash was quick kicking that.
Oh, yeah.
punts.
Yeah, against Texas about 78 yards.
And Steve Davis got booed in that game against Kansas.
Well, we came out at halftime,
Yeah.
And we ran out to kind of warm up, and Davis said, "Our fans are booing." I said, "Who are they?" He said, "Who are they booing?" I said, "Hell, they're booing us." I said, "We played like dogs the first half. Hell, we should be booed." And didn't get any better second half. So anyway, it was a terrible loss. But and then the next week we go to Missouri, as you know, and that game we're
Joe
ahead,
Washington.
Yeah, we're ahead 20-0 in the game, and next thing we know, at the fourth quarter, we're down 27-20 late in the game.
Fourth down.
Run a pitch to Joe. He makes some great moves as always. Goes for like a 78-yard touchdown.
You run the same play in the 2-point conversion.
And we ran an option play to the right, and it was very questionable, from the standpoint. I mean, it could be called either way, but they called it good, and we ended up winning the game 28-27.
Well, they missed a field goal. Pizarkowicz drove them down the
They
field.
moved the ball down. They had a great team. Pizarkowicz was great.
Was Kelvin Winslow on that team? They had a great wide receiver, I remember.
Well, Winslow would have been tight end.
Yeah, was Stallworth the kid named Stallworth the wide receiver that played for
No.
the Chiefs? Who was they know they had a really good wide receiver in '75.
Henry Marshall.
Yeah, Henry Marshall. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I actually got to know Henry at the All-Star games. Henry's a great guy.
yeah. I mean, that was. I tell a story. I've told you so many times in the air that in '72 down at the Sugar Bowl game, Tinker and Grant Burgett are going up probably because curfew was.
God rest his soul, by the way.
The what?
God rest his soul.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm coming down, and Tinker, the freshman, Burgett, the beer guzzler.
Well, I had just turned 18 in October, so you know.
You give me drinking advice. You go to Paddle Grinds, have just one hurricane, and then switch to beer. I mean, that was the advice that you gave me. You know, I mean, that's kind of how things have changed now. Can you imagine Tinker now, how and let players just roam Bourbon Street and everything?
No, can't imagine.
And I remember a lot of players were getting sick and puking at practice.
That was one I.
Who was a kid from Clinton that was got sick? I remember. It wasn't Struck. It was somebody else.
Bobby Lorenz,
linebacker. Jimmy Lorenz. Yeah.
Bobby Lorenz.
Bobby Lorenz. Yeah. I mean, that was. How much you think times have changed since those days?
I would say a lot. And they get paid a lot more money today than $15 a month.
Yeah, what they call laundry money. Then.
Yeah, it was laundry money.
The laundry money. And
well, it
everything.
didn't go to laundry, I promise you.
I mean, what do you think of the job Brent Pendleton's done?
I think Brent's done a great job. You know, it's taken some time, but that's what it takes sometimes when you go to a program and things are a little down. You got to try to build it up. And obviously, he's a defensive coach, and he's done a fantastic job of building a great defense. I think at this point in time, we got to get a running game going and get a running game going with good receivers, and it opens up everything. I think we'll have better receivers this year, and I think we'll have as good a team, if not better, hopefully.
Well, and the receivers have been getting hurt and everything.
Yeah, we had too many guys hurt and so on, but the schedule is tough. You know, you're looking at playing Michigan, you're playing Georgia, you're playing Texas early in the year. You know, odds are we won't win all those games. I hope like hell we do, but the chances are that we'll probably lose. You know, Georgia's on the road. Texas, of course, in Dallas. And
what do you remember? '75, you play in Michigan in the Rose Bowl, in the Orange Bowl. Early in the day, UCLA's playing Ohio State. Ohio State spanked them earlier in the year. Ohio State was ranked #1, so it didn't matter what would happen against you in Michigan because if Ohio State wins, they're national champions. So the game, did they let you follow the Ohio State UCLA game, or how did that go?
Actually, they announced it during the game, like early in the game. They announced on the loudspeaker that UCLA had beaten Ohio State. Obviously, we knew if we won, we had a chance, you know, to win it all, which we went out and took care of business and did it.
Well, if I ask you, you know, how to describe Switzer in those days, what would it be like? And here he comes right now, man.
Well, the King was the best. I mean, you know, he let us have a lot of freedom, have a good time. In fact, we were up at the old Sports Page Club at Hilton Hotel in Oklahoma City, and it was Luttrell and I think Elrod, me and our wives, whatever, and Switzer walks in. We said, oh, hell, the coach is here. So we're trying to hide. Well, he sees us. He comes over to the table and said, what are you guys doing? I said, well, Coach, we're having a drink. He said, well, hell, let me buy you one. One of my favorite stories.
That is absolutely a great story. That is unbelievable. Tinker, I appreciate it, man.
Hey, congratulations.
Great, you've been a great friend of mine.
We've had a great friendship for a long time.
Absolutely.
And
love Tinker.
that'll continue on.
No doubt about it.
And I got to tell this one last thing, that Mike Rooney, your friend, that they addressed it to him as Mickey Rooney. One of the students at OU put Mickey rather than Mike. So I want to let you know that. I didn't know if you saw that on my text.
I did. I saw it. I texted Mike today.
Well, I didn't know if you saw it.
You're going to get it as Mickey Rooney tomorrow.
Yeah, Mickey Rooney.
Yeah. I mean, Enjoy that.
Hey, I love you.
Hey, thanks, Sid.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
You bet.
Coming up, Barry Switzer here at Othello.
Hello, golfers. Hey, golfers.
Oh, fellows, they joined us so kindly to come in. Barry Switzer, and you're big into rescuing dogs, and tell the story what you did today.
I don't rescue dogs.
Well, you take dogs. You
no.
You got a charity, don't you? What is it?
Yeah, I've got a foundation. It's called
Okay.
Ground Zero Saves Lives, and people come up and say, I rescue dogs too, just like you said. I said, you might rescue dogs. Our dogs rescue people, and that's the difference. We have dogs that are trained to rescue people and tornadoes, hurricanes, any disaster area, any disaster that occurs, man-made disaster. They're going to be our dogs. Our task forces are going to show up. All over the United States, we have dogs. We've probably got 80 to 90 dogs out there, and our dogs have been to Turkey, and they've been to Maui. They've been to Kerrville last year. They weren't rescue dogs. Cadaver dogs went last year to Kerrville because it's such a disaster. Before they could get in there to find anybody, that was obviously they were deceased, and they sent cadaver dogs. They don't need to send rescue dogs. But that's what we do, Al. We've been doing it for years, training dogs. They have to pass FEMA and testing, and then after that, they are assigned to task forces or first responders in Oklahoma City. We find most of the fire departments in Oklahoma City have our dogs, and but that's something Becky, my wife, has really been involved with. I support her in it, and we've been doing that for.
You know, I'm thinking this is 50 years of me doing sports talk radio, and I'm thinking in 1995, you with the Cowboys and Philadelphia. You go for a first down on and don't make it.
Yeah.
Randy Galloway, who did this, he writes. It was like me. He wrote and he did a sports talk show. He killed you. I get
Sure.
him.
Randy killed me when I got there. I know who was for me and who was against me, and I told them all that when I got there. I knew they killed me when I was coaching at OU. They wrote negative stuff back then. When we played Texas, I go south of the Red River. I can pick up a Texas newspaper, open it up. I can tell you right away who was for us and who was against us. And hell, they're all the Southwest Conference guys. And Randy never was my friend. I never gave him the time of day. Never spent any time with Randy. I didn't care to, because when I came down there, I said, I know who's for me and who's against me.
Dale Hansen.
I've been reading about you guys for years. So, so I never spent any time with those guys.
Anyway, Randy comes on my show and says, well, after you got beat that I will apologize. If they win the Super Bowl, I will apologize. And
we won the Super Bowl. That's
you won. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I always ask people. They bring all that 4th down and 1 up twice in a row, and I said that when they finish with their dialogue, I kind of ask them. I said, by the way, who won the Super Bowl that year? Kind of makes it irrelevant, doesn't it? That 4th and 1. We won the Super Bowl that year. The 4th and 1 was the reason we did it. The players wanted to go for it. We did. Well, it wasn't 4th and 1. 4th and it doesn't give you inches on the scoreboard up there. It was about that far. And that's why we went for it. Then a 4th and really a yard, we would probably had to kick it in that 25, 30 mile an hour wind, and the damn ball came right back at you. It already happened once, but that's why we went for it. It's because it was 2 or 3 inches for first down.
Isn't it amazing how everybody goes for it?
Yeah.
How?
Of course, Philadelphia with that quarterback they got. He runs a quarterback sneak. Everybody pushing him in there. We didn't do it back then. We didn't run a quarterback sneak. Troy. That wasn't in our playbook. And I asked our coordinator, I said, why, guy, you don't want? He said, well, he might get hurt. I said, well, it's they all might get hurt. Might get hurt any play. But, it's part of football. It's what gives you the best chances to move the ball for first downs, what you ought to run.
Kind of funny. I forgot. Tig Owens just told me that he punted for you. And
he punted for me. You know why I put him back there?
Why?
Because he had great hands. It's because we had a snapper that might snap it over your head, over here.
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah, he didn't know where the ball was going to go. And I turned around and told my offensive, I think Pettibone was my head recruiting coordinator. I said, go get us a snapper. And that's when he went and got that kid named Lucky or something out of Houston.
Mark Lucky. Mark Lucky.
Great snapper. And he zipped that ball back at about 6/10 of a second and get the ball away. And that's the only reason we had Tinker back there. Wasn't that he was a great punter. When you had, he's going to catch the ball wherever it went and get the ball off.
Well, and then you did the quick kicks with Joe Washington.
A quick kick, that was against Texas, 76 yards. And first one down there were Tinker and Billy Brooks. I said Tinker first. I think it should have said Billy Brooks first and Tinker second. But anyway, that was about 1976. We worked on the quick kick with Joe Washington and snapped the ball through the quarterback's legs to him in the end zone, and we kicked it and went 70-something yards, I think, 72, 76. I know it was over 70.
You know, it's kind of incredible. I saw CBS did something a couple weeks ago of each decade naming the top team. And in the 70s, they said Alabama. Your record was better by far better than anybody in the 70s. It wasn't close. What Oklahoma did, even starting out with Chuck from 71 through, there was nobody near as good as Oklahoma in the 70s.
When I left college football in 1988, I had the winningest record in college football. When I left the game, go back and check it. I had the best record in college football when I left. And but you know, it's changed since then. I think Saban's had a great run, but Oklahoma in the 70s, we were the winningest team in the 70s. Alabama won one more game, but we won less. They had more losses than we did, so we had a better winning percentage than they had.
Well, and you look back, 71, you finished second, could have won the national championship. 72, lost one game, could have won it. 73, you did win it. 74.
Well, let me just say it like this. When I had the Selman brothers, we were 54-3-1. We damn near won 58 in a row. We were better than the teams we tied and lost to. And we should have won 58 in a row.
And 78, you had the best team in the country.
Yeah, that was my best team. That's one that always eats me. We fumbled. You go back, pull this up, pull out the sheets. We fumbled 10 times against Nebraska that day in Lincoln. Fumbled 10 times. You think if they fumbled 10 times, and we lost 6 of the 10. If they'd done that for us, how many points would we put on? Well, we stopped ourselves all day long. We didn't. Then Billy makes the great run to about 30 yards right through him to get the ball to the 2 or 3 yard line when we fumbled the last play of the ball game for us. We don't get the ball back because it's about a minute, no more than 2 minutes to go in the ball game, and the ball is knocked out from a guy behind him comes up and hits him. You know who that guy was? He's the governor of Nebraska today, Jim Pilla. Jim Pilla is the governor of the state of Nebraska.
Really?
I said that probably got you elected. Is that you knocked the ball out of Billy Sims' arms. But because we win that game, we're undefeated. We're going to beat anybody we play in the Orange Bowl, and which we did. We got to play Nebraska again, had them 31-10 going in the fourth quarter, and they scored the last series they had against Ball and make the ball game even close. But the game wasn't even close. 31-10 going in the fourth quarter.
79, you go play Florida State, beat them in the Orange Bowl, beat them 2 straight years in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, they were undefeated. When we played them that first year, they were undefeated. And the thing about it was they were giving up only 67 yards a game rushing. They were 11-0. We put over 400 yards rushing them. JC was most valuable player. JC had over 100. He ran 70 yards for a touchdown on the option. Billy had over 100 yards. Overstreet, 10th player picked in the draft, is the other halfback. He had about 80, 90 yards. If we'd fed the ball equally to Billy, and Billy's the best back in the country without a doubt. And we gave the ball, at least we wanted to make sure he carried it 27, 30 times a game. And we designed our offense to make sure that did happen. We put in special plays for him, and that we didn't have for the other halfbacks. I wish we had it for Pruitt, and I wish we'd done the same thing for Joe Washington. And but Joe always bitched about the fact that he only got to rush for 4,000 yards because we were ahead so much at the half. He didn't get to play second half in any of those ball games. So
Well, yeah, a lot of times you had the guys you took them in shoulder pads. They weren't even on
hey,
shoulder
look,
pads.
I didn't know that. I ate the ass out if I call it without them on. But I don't know what the guys are doing behind me. I'm into the ball game. I didn't know Bosworth was wearing a damn T-shirts about the communists or NCAA, whatever he had on the T-shirt. I'm in the damn ball game. And, yeah, actually, when in the Texas game in '84, I didn't know I was wearing a hat with Texas on it, beat Texas on it. I did not know I had that hat on. Till I saw a TV interview after the ball game. I said, "Damn it, that damn manager handed me this hat that's pouring down rain in '84 game. You remember that?"
Yeah.
And I just popped the hat on, put on the rain slicker and all our rain suits, and never paid any attention to it. Never took the damn hat off.
Barry, let me ask you. In the '84 game, when did you see the replay? Or did you know right away that it was a horrible call?
Oh, a terrible call. I could see it from sidelines. Hell, he catches the ball, tips the ball. Andre Johnson makes a great play. He reaches over, tips the ball out of the receiver to go catch the ball. He tips the ball away from him, and Stansbury dives and catches it, falling on his back, and slides 3 yards out of bounds. And the guy over Butch, what's his name? He called. I used to know his name.
Oh, yeah.
Butch something. He's a Big 8 official. I called him up in Colorado one time. I think I was at Breckenridge. He was up there. I ran into him in a bar up there. I ate his ass out over it. But anyway, that's a long time ago. Things like that happened. But that was something. I had Cumbie. Cumbie's going to the Hall of Fame this year. It should have been a long time ago. But George is struggling right now. He's going through, head operation, and I really don't know the extent of what his problems all are, but he's struggling, and so is Lucius Selman. He's really going through dialysis every day. So, I worry about him, and some of those guys are they're getting up there.
What happened to Stanley Wilson?
Well, he was a druggie and California street kid, and just lived on the wrong side of the street. And
That was like Rod Schultz. I mean, they brought Rod back, and
Rod, he got with the wrong crowd up. But Rod Schultz wasn't like that. Rod Schultz was a great kid, and he got pro football. His old boy from Spire, Oklahoma. Hell, he'd never been up there. And all of a sudden, he's doing drugs with the rest of whoever he's doing drugs with. And got a dirty needle. Got him.
That's just unbelievable. I mean, Tink and I were talking about, they were all Americans, receivers, and they only caught X amount of passes in '75. Billy Brooks, first round draft pick, Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, he's the first player picked in the draft, first receiver picked in the draft. He's the 12th player pick went, but they had two great players, Tinker and Billy Brooks, both were great players for us.
But Billy Brooks came in the same year, another JUCO, Wayman Clark.
Oh my God!
Your man, Wayman Clark.
Let me tell you, Wayman Clark was as good a back we ever had here, and he got to play for it in 1 year, rushed for over 1,000 yards in backfield with Little Joe. And he was something special out of Austin, Texas. Played us, Anderson? No, they won state championship with him at, what was the name of it? Good big high school there in Austin. Austin Reagan. Austin Reagan. Yeah, he was Reagan. And they won state champions. He was the reason why, too. He showed right away he was a stud against Baylor that first time game we played. The first time we put him out there, he breaks one for about 60, and we got to find a place for little Timmy Welch to play now, because he's going to be on my starting fullback. And he ended up rushing for 1,000 yards, over 1,000 yards, and so did Little Joe. And
hey, thanks, Barry, for coming by. I really appreciate it.
I came by. I was out of town. I was in Texas A&M today with the dog. Just flew back in, and Cale Gundy's one reminded me of this event. I've been here earlier if I could have been, but I wasn't able to be. But I'm glad I made it. But Al, you tell them we go back to '66, before you were ever on the damn radio.
I was a student in the
You were a
work for the student newspaper.
You were always slipping around trying to hear what all our coaches were having to say. We were having Ernie's Town Tavern over here.
Yeah.
We have Louis now, but it's Ernie's Town Tavern. We were having breakfast every morning there. And Pat James and I and a couple of other coaches, and you would be over by yourself. And finally, I asked you what the hell you did, and you told me you're a student and you were head of the sports page. You were a sports writer, and I said, "Well, get your ass over here with us. We don't mind you being over here. You can listen to what we talk about." So we invited you to be a part of our breakfast club.
Well, and then remember when I started out, the older guys, Boggs and Hurt and everything, and I got to know all your players, I got to know all the coaches and everything, and I just, I had long hair, hippie and everything, and I kicked their butt.
Remember when they wrote those articles about us selling our tickets and all?
Oh my God!
I got your ass to go on the road and go to these other schools and Huskies. And we paid your way.
And let me tell you something, Barry. Some of those guys, Rick Fox, they had no idea. It became a national story. UPI picked it up and it ran up. And all these people there, they called me, "You got my ass in trouble and everything." Texas called and I'm interviewing all cameras. Said, "Oh, I sold tickets all the time, scalped them and everything."
Hell yeah, they did. Everywhere they were. They got hard tickets.
Unbelievable. Barry, thanks. And Sam, I'm sorry I went long. I just couldn't let
Keep
Barry
going.
go.
This is gold.
So I appreciate Sam Humphries coming up. And again, I want to thank everybody making this a very special day for me. Good night, Oklahoma.
All right, take care.